Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number
330, baby.
Yoink.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I left my coffee at the house this morning, so do we have anything back there, Maddie, that can help me? I've had a long weekend.
Drink this fucking thing, baby.
Oh, the energy drink? Yeah. Did you drink out of that already?
Did it look like I did?
I didn't know if you
did. You not look? Did I
what
take that
material is that coat? Because people watching think it's leather. That is not leather. What is that?
This is G-Star, baby. I got this in Sweden in 2008 when the Blues played fucking Detroit there, and we partied like we won the Stanley Cup.
It looks like you got it in Sweden in 2008. Man, I ain't gonna lie.
It's badass.
What does GS stand for?
G-Star.
Okay.
Damn cool stuff, Andy. Mm-hmm. Damn cool stuff.
Yeah.
Spent 10 grand in fucking 10 days there. God, that was fun though, man. I told you, I
got a scarf on too. I can't get over this. You're making me hot.
It's cold. We have snowstorms coming out the motherfucking wazoo. I predicted this in gosh dang September, and he said, yeah. I knew exactly what I was goddamn talking about. I said, we're going to get shit on this winter. I read it.
You read it.
I've read it for months, and I said it. Oh, Maddie, did I not months ago say we are going to get rocked this winter with more snow than average? It's going to be a lot colder. I specifically said that months ago.
You're just using the percentages because we didn't get a lot of snow last year.
Because I do my homework.
No, if you don't get it,
never said that.
For a couple years, eventually we're going to have one of those.
And I also
winters.
said, so mark this down, that this tornado season is going to be something, boy.
Okay,
just so you
have said that, but anybody can say that. And then
because sometimes it's not.
If we do get a lot of tornadoes, you can say that you knew it was coming.
Didn't,
and if we don't get the tornadoes, it doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah.
If it didn't snow, we're getting snowed. We have snow all over the place. Although last little snowstorm here in Missouri got hyped up, everybody got worried, and then nothing happened. This one's going to be a little bit different. But the snowstorm before this, a couple months ago, this city got rocked, and they didn't know what the fuck to do. There's still ice in Soulard. Poor Soulard people. We love you. A little tight little community. The only community I'm going to go down to and feel kind of safe in St. Louis, to be honest with you. That little community, no one helped. No one put any salt anywhere. For 3 weeks after that snowstorm, people are still complaining.
You don't feel safe in other areas?
In St. Louis?
Are
you aloof
but you feel
to
safe
reality?
In Soulard?
Not we're that safe.
You're talking.
I'll go to
you
bars
go down
in
to
Soulard.
Mardi Gras. There's like millions of people down there. That's when it's safe.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, everybody's safe down there in Mardi Gras.
What's your point?
So
who's talking about Mardi Gras?
You act like it's. I only feel safe. Like you just go down there on a random Saturday night and walk around.
I used to all the time.
Everyone did.
I love Soulard.
Yeah.
There's cool restaurants in Soulard from the 1800s, man. McGurk's, all these cool fucking great food. The crime there
Venice Cafe.
The crime there.
You ever been there?
Yes, the crime there isn't as bad as other areas in St. Louis. So it's just like a little tight little community, man.
A lot of stolen cars. And a lot of other stuff going on there.
You know what? I'm not going to defend it. We get, there's fucking crime everywhere.
I mean, Cam's like, it's safe in Soulard.
No, it's not. I'm usually the one opposite of that.
I know you are.
I'm just I like Soulard. I'm just giving a little shout out.
Everyone does.
I felt bad for the people.
1860s, a great bar. I mean, they got a lot of, Venice Cafe.
You know, the brewery's
got a lot
right
of great
there.
Stuff right there.
Peacemaker, awesome seafood spot. So if you're from St. Louis, you know what I'm talking about.
Peacemaker's more like Benton Park, I think.
Okay, that's Soulard.
Okay, I mean,
Jesus fucking Christ, what's going on here?
I mean, this guy doesn't even know.
He's fucking Benton fucking Park.
He's trying to explain where everything is at.
So anyway,
what's Tom Wilson thinking right now?
He's laughing. Actually, he's not laughing. He's like this. He's like, what the fuck?
We should get him back on.
Is he going to do something in that game? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Go fight somebody?
Let me put it to you this way.
You know?
Are they doing what they did if Tom Wilson's in that game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And if Tom Wilson starts that game?
Yeah, they're fighting Tom Wilson, dude.
Okay.
Yes. They're fighting Tom Wilson.
But it's a different situation, though.
It's not going to be Matthew fighting Tom.
No.
It's going to be Brady.
It'd be Brady.
Brady, two big boys. You fucking go with Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Just like Brady can go with anybody if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Olivia's going to catch him a couple times. Some of those other big Delorier, if he wants to go there.
Tom Wilson might, too.
Tom Wilson might catch him, but Brady almost caught goddamn Bennett, too. Bennett throws bombs, man.
Bennett's not Tom Wilson.
Bennett's tough, dude.
He is very tough. Pound for pound.
He almost caught Brady.
Pound for pound.
He got out a little bit, boy,
He
and
did.
swung, and then Brady swung and just nicked him a little bit.
But let's not pretend that he's a heavyweight in the NHL either. He's just
goddamn right he
tough as
is.
Shit.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, but
listen,
we asked Olivier who's the toughest one. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that you would call
He never said Tom Wilson.
Heavyweights. Probably forgot his name.
No.
But Delorier
Tom's a player.
Guys, okay, he is. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think Sam Bennett, I think people all respect his toughness.
In this league?
And I get what you're saying, but he ain't a heavyweight, dude. I mean, let's just be
In
honest.
this league, he's up there as one of the toughest guys.
He's tough,
percentage-wise. You're damn right.
He's a gamer.
He's not that big. He's just not that big.
No, he's not.
If he was 6'4", you call him heavyweight, but he's not.
Well,
but he's
if my wife had a mustache, yeah, she'd be my uncle.
had nuts.
Okay.
She'd be your uncle.
Is that what it is?
Jesus, Andy. Figure that one out too. That's our boy Don Cherry. Just had a birthday the other day. So shout out.
You mean PK Cherry?
Oh God.
I mean, he's dressing like Don Cherry. I mean, this is like, I don't mind the loud flashiness. I actually like it, man. Be flashy, be yourself. But there's
Billy
no
Tibbetts is so funny.
There's no question he's trying to emulate Don Cherry versus being himself. I'm going to be loud like Don Cherry. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'd rather you be loud than quiet.
And, you can say that Barry Melrose did the same thing.
Yeah,
He wore loud suits and stuff like that. Be loud.
I'd rather you be loud than quiet.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Americans on that feed.
Okay, they don't have any, and I gotta bring this up right off the bat.
That's an American feed.
I took issue with this. I called you right away.
Yep.
I said something on social media. In fact, Cam was like, tweet it.
Damn right.
Put it on Twitter. And I try to be as nice as possible because I want to respect PK and Mark Messier.
I love
it's not
them.
about them.
Yeah, it's not about them.
And I said this on other platforms too. It's not about them. It's about who's not on there. How do you have an American broadcast and all you are? I feel like it's slanted towards Canada, honestly. And that's the way it's going to be when you have two Canadians on your desk as your analysts, including Mark Messier, one of the greatest and most recognizable hockey players of all time, who represented Canada on numerous occasions. I mean, they're having a pregame show before USA's first game, and they're talking about what their experience meant to them representing their native Canada, okay, and eating poutine and all this other type of stuff.
Like
Where is Mike Modano? Where is Mike Richter? You can say Chelios and Hull and all those guys. We've seen them in the past. Roenick, for whatever reason, is he still canceled? Is he canceled forever?
I guess.
He's in the Hall of Fame. Is Roenick never going to be allowed to come on national television again? So put his ass on there.
Should get Joe Otto.
Go get Keith Tkachuk out of the stands or something.
Yeah.
Bring him up there. It's like we've got no, and I mean zero, USA hockey representation. Now, I usually don't get too caught up in it, and TNT doesn't either. I'll say that. Gretzky obviously is just kind of, he's for one and all, right? He's for everybody in hockey, but of course we all know that he is Canadian. Biz is Canadian. Ace is Canadian. So, when they have their turn to broadcast USA hockey, I hope they have some USA hockey representation too. When you see USA soccer matches from international tournaments on like ESPN, you always have like Alexi Lalas on there.
Yeah.
You got like Landon Donovan or one of these guys. There's always somebody representing USA hockey. How do you not have anybody who played for USA hockey on your set as an analyst when it's really a USA show, right?
It is a USA show.
It is a USA
and
show.
I like how they're like, I ate poutine. Listen,
Putin, they were
Americans have no fucking clue about anything about Canada.
They don't care.
They don't give a fuck about Canada. They don't know. We don't know the people. No one's going up there and like, I'm going to Canada this weekend. No one's doing that. They don't know about poutine.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything. They just deal with the fuck what they're dealing with down here. We have enough drama and attention in the U.S. No one pays attention to this shit. So when they're breaking down how your poutine, the Americans are like, is he talking about pussy? Is he talking about pussy with gravy and cheese on it?
Wait a minute.
With grated cheese on it, and you ate it, and it was so good.
Then,
the Americans are like, did he just say pussy?
Her breath.
Oh, God. I got ruined in Windsor one time. This hot little girl, she ate poutine in front of me, and
her breath.
Her breath was stinking, and I know she had to take a dump.
Oh my God! Because it'll do that to you.
So my point is, I don't mean to be.
So they don't know what he's talking about. They're like, "Damn, this guy's talking about eating poutine." All up on the set.
But like everybody thinks that most Americans just don't pay attention to anything else but the United. That's just the way it is.
Canada lost the game and everything, and then you come back and it's like, let's go to Mark Messier and PK Subban to talk about. And again, nothing wrong with them.
We love
but
them.
It's not an NHL game. They're your NHL analysts.
Yeah.
ESPN's like, we're just going to roll with our NHL analysts. I mean, the USA are the Summer Olympics when you had USA basketball going on. I really got into it. I got into the girls' side as well because of their flexibility. They can go inside, they can go outside. They've got great post players. They've got
recycled joke.
The women basketball team. But on the men's side, you know who the color commentator was?
No idea.
For USA basketball?
Krzyzewski?
Dwayne Wade. Like one of the most recognizable American basketball players of all time. That's what they did for the Olympics, right? And I know the Olympics is different than four nations. But at least you got a recognizable, legendary name broadcasting. And even, listen, I love Ray Ferraro. I think he does a fine job and
So
whatever. But again, Canadian.
They're all Canadian.
It's just
What
like,
are we doing?
let's just go to one Canadian to the next Canadian. All I'm saying is it's not about Ferraro. It's not about PK Subban. It has nothing to do with Mark Messier. It's more about what's absent on the broadcast. We need some American flair, man. USA Hockey is running right now the sport. They own the sport. They own the sport in the World Juniors. They own the sport potentially right now, what's going on in terms of where we're at right now with the four nations. You know, I mean...
People will have a rebuttal to a point where they'll say,
Hey,
the best players in the world are still the
hey,
Canadian.
all I'm
and
saying is,
the
what do they call
captains.
it? Best on best?
All right.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
This is best on best. If USA wins, they are the best. They just won the World Juniors. The women win all the time. It's either Canada or USA.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody
We're
else
there.
creep in.
We're there, dude.
Okay, on the women's side. Does anybody else ever win on the women's side?
What other teams are there?
So anyway, all I'm saying is
Israel just won in a hockey tournament.
Let's get some. Even if you had Patrick Kane, you know what I'm saying? You've seen active players participate as analysts. If you were to call Patrick Kane, who's probably aged out of these tournaments now, and you said, hey Patrick, you want to work on the set?
Mike Modano's tweeting all goddamn night about it. What are we doing?
I don't know.
And listen, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we're not like...
I think it's a pretty big swing and miss, man. I got to be honest with you.
You might be right on that, man.
I think
of all
it
the
is.
Things, like, I get what you're saying.
I'm not trying to be nitpicky.
I know. And I don't want Canadians to get mad.
No.
Like, what do you guys...
And
what do you mean?
I don't want, like, people like PK and Ray Ferraro and Mark Messier to think that, like...
No.
Because it's not about them, dude. I want Ray Ferraro calling the game.
Goddamn right, he's good.
I want Mark Messier giving his opinion.
I agree.
Okay,
I listened to
on what took place during a period.
But what if Canada had a bunch of Finns talking about their game and an important?
Or no, a bunch of Americans.
Americans, like anything,
just
like,
all Americans.
All American. We're like, well, down here we have, brisket. I don't know. Talking about different things. Listen, it's all good. They do. It was a swing and a miss. I completely agree with that.
I mean,
but that game.
Come on now.
That game was ungoddamn believable from the get-go.
Mark, what did it mean to you to represent Canada?
Yeah, no, we're talking about the U.S. right now. We're talking about the U.S., but...
PK, what did it mean to you to represent Canada? And you can tell they're not happy after they're...
No, dude, it's so obvious. They're like, okay, we gotta talk about this, and rightfully so.
No, they want to pump up Canada. They want to say,
Canada.
Here's how we lost, as opposed to, here's how the Americans won. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. You're right on this, man. I'm sorry.
I'm just
trying to even it out so let people.
That shows you how much they really care. And these ratings have been through the roof, man. They're getting 4.4 million people watching.
I thought the NBA also. I was watching the NBA All-Star game. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, were you the slam dunk contest?
Sick.
Mac McClung.
I like when they came. One of the Ball brothers came out and did a little rap. And he was lip syncing the whole time. That was sick.
He wasn't lip syncing. I think he was singing. He sounded terrible. It was like it did not. He was like, I want to bring out my brother for his first live performance ever. And I'm like, oh, this might be cool. I want to see what kind of, what kind of rapper he is. And it just didn't go very well.
Rapping live sucks to me anyway. I like some rap songs, but if you're
rapping live, you ever been to a live rap concert?
Fuck no.
Well, then you wouldn't really know to speak on that.
I wouldn't know. You could go on YouTube and watch it. They're out of breath the whole fucking time, doing nothing.
But live rapping.
So what do you think about this game, though? And I know that it's going to be another game tonight. This is a Monday. Canada plays tonight.
That's hard, man.
So Benner's playing, and he had a conference, but yet he's still tweeting, because I'm looking at Twitter, and he's still tweeting around.
Well, I was told to hold off on that till today.
Benner is playing.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
You know what?
What do you guys all think of that?
I can go either way with that. I think this tells me they made their decision coming into the tournament that Jordan Binnington's our guy, and we're going to live and die, sink or swim with Jordan Binnington as our goaltender. This decision, in my opinion, was probably they said, hey, he's going to be our guy coming into the tournament. Now, with that being said, I don't think it would have been a bad decision if they went with Aiden Hill now for the third game. In fact, I probably would have considered even going to Aiden Hill in the first two games, or in the second game. I would have had it mapped out where I go Binnington, then Aiden Hill, and then you make your decision who played better, and I'm gonna ride that guy the rest of the tournament. But they decided to stick with Binnington. It's not like he's let in a ton of goals, hasn't gotten the offensive support, the run support that you would want. It certainly isn't ideal to get one goal against the Americans, but it's the type of goals that he gave up against Team USA that I think
the Gensel one.
The Gensel one. Hey,
that's the only one.
The Larkin shot was
he
good.
ripped it.
Even the Kempe shot in the first game. That was the second goal.
Yeah.
I thought the first goal he gave up, I thought was worse than the second one.
It was.
You know what I mean? Like
The
it went. No, the first one in game one.
Game one. Okay.
You know, from up top, it went middle of the net. He kind of went down there. Like
gotta get big on that.
It's just the puck should never go in right in that spot, right in the middle of the net from that area of the ice. But he wasn't able to track it. I don't know if it was deflected or whatever. Kempe's got a hell of a shot, but still, you'd like to find a way to get that save there. So it's all about getting saves. Hellebuck was giving him saves. You got Jake Ottinger now starting in. I don't want to call it a meaningless game, but you know, USA's already punched the ticket to the final, so it's not like they have to win this one.
Hellebuck was fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
There was some,
and the first goal he gave up in the first game wasn't very good, right?
There's some. In the first game, okay, all right, okay.
Remember, PK was like after the first period, oh, they got to do something.
Yes,
they got to get him out of here.
That's right.
They got to figure this out.
That's right.
Because they're just like, oh well, PK or Hellebuck has never really performed at the top of his game in the playoffs, so this is the Hellebuck we're going to get.
He was unbelievable against Canada.
Great against Canada.
Did you see?
And no one really gave him credit.
No, exactly. Because there's too much loudness going on, and rightfully so. There was so much going on in that game. It was unbelievable. Probably one of the best hockey games ever. Mm-hmm. And the other hockey game was one of the best hockey games ever. It was fucking U.S.-Canada back in '96 with Big Walt and Lemieux and Lindros rocking guys. Everybody hated each other. Like, it was fucking fantastic. Gretzky doing his thing. Or not doing his thing in some of those games.
Adam Foote.
I mean, you were loaded with just talent and toughness and whatnot. But then you look at the Swedes versus the Finns, and you watch the other game, and you watch the Swedes and Finns, and it's like, ooh, like this. I like skill, blah 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 blah, but just no comparison. There's no fuck you. There's no mean.
They do hate each other.
But do they?
But let me ask you this.
Can you watch that game, Andy, and be like, God, these guys hate each other? Not at all.
Okay, but if the Tkachuks weren't in the game, would you feel the same type of animosity?
They are.
Okay, I'm just saying. I mean,
if my aunt had balls,
it's a mustache.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
Nuts.
She has a know. So my point is, it's just like there's a big difference.
Hey, the Tkachuks, they just understand the moment, the stage. They know how to get attention for themselves, man, and how to just really just take over. And in reality, it's like, it's not that hard to do, to just become the show when you just organically have it in you to do it.
Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying?
And
I said right away, because I wasn't surprised that, Matthew, fought off the draw, and he and Hagel have a little bit of history there. So
they all talked about it, Matthew,
and
JT.
But I bet you this was talked about even long before that. I bet you this was talked about when they were hanging out last summer and whatever. It'd be like, how cool would it be? Center ice, Bell Center, just drop the gloves off the draw.
Now more than ever, they brought it up because of the tension between the countries.
There's no doubt. And you know what? And Matthew feels a little bit juiced right now. He just went to the White House, just spoke in front of Trump. And, you've got the booze just raining down. I mean, they are just – I asked – Cam, I couldn't keep up with it. I asked the question last night on social media. I'm asking a real question. I mean, I've got like 300 comments. I mean, people just come and just –
Psycho.
I'm like, whoa, this is a bigger issue than
That's
I even
also
thought
X,
it was.
Dude. That's
you know
also
what I mean?
X. Like, you can't look at X and be like, this is what everybody's thinking. Like, Americans are like, okay, what? Probably a lot of Canadians are like, okay, yeah, we got to fix a couple things. Yeah, Trump, we don't want to have anybody set us back, but we got to do our own thing with our own country, with our own leadership, blah, 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 blah. But right now, I feel like you see a lot of back and forth on Twitter more than anything else. If you went to Canada, people aren't going to be like, you're an American, what's going on?
I'm getting a lot of messages from Canadians who are giving me a real thorough explanation, which I appreciate. And a lot of it, sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree, whatever. But, I think some people don't even want to put their opinion on X.
I don't.
Because
I do it on here.
Oh, I don't even respond. No. I'm not going back and forth. I just ask
oh my God. Girl, how do you... And I respect. I don't chirp her at all. I don't chirp anybody, dude, especially a girl. I'm staying away from all that. But like even like all these, they're nonstop. Boom, boom, boom on Twitter, and it's all like, "Fuck are you? This is fucking crazy." And then the next tweet is, "Fuck everything." Like, how do you live your life and be so angry and angry and angry and call everybody out angry? I'll tell you what. If you lived in Germany right now, and you're doing that in Germany on Twitter, you're gonna get arrested. You read about that?
Well,
Scary.
let me tell you this.
That's in the UK.
Thomas
They'll
Greiss,
arrest you.
Thomas Greiss, former German goaltender,
They'll arrest you.
who played in the NHL for a long time, Islanders obviously, and he finished his career here in St. Louis. He essentially got kicked out of the IIHF of their, representing the German national team. In fact, he still lives here in St. Louis. He retired as a Blue. He still lives here, Thomas Greiss, because he was putting pro-American, pro-Trump messages out there on social media, including Twitter, and there's stories about that. Go look him up, man. He got kicked out of the German national team.
You should see this video. This guy's critiquing, like you're critiquing politicians or whatever. You're critiquing them. And all of a sudden they say they will break down your door and arrest you
in Germany.
Germany, it's unbelievable. They do in the UK too. That might have happened if things didn't go the way it went a couple months ago. That probably could have been here too.
What do you mean?
Because they don't want free speech. They feel like there's hate speech. No, it's people that's giving their opinion. Mm-hmm. And the people that are crazy on there, no one's going to hire you anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like you just let people just say what they want and you fucking sort it out yourself.
You know, one thing I realize is you're going to get a certain opinion from a lot of the media. I think you realize in Canada specifically, and there's a decent sized part of the media here in the States as well, who lean heavily to the left, who are very liberal.
You think?
A lot of liberal media in Canada too. So I'm not surprised to hear some of their opinions. And listen,
all good.
I don't disagree with it. Everyone has their own opinion. For a Canadian to feel the way that he feels, who lives there, man,
do your thing, man.
Do your thing.
Yeah, it's all good.
I will respect your opinion, whether you.
I won't respect your opinion. I'll respect you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to respect your opinion.
No, but I'll respect,
because they're not going to respect your opinion if you disagree with them.
Right, but well, that's the difference. Okay,
there it is. Then.
That's the difference. I will respect your opinion.
They won't respect you as a person.
You may not respect what I have to say or whatever, but I will respect the fact that you feel a certain way.
Sure.
Now, the booze and all that, that's a little much for me. I don't know how we get to that point, where the messaging gets lost in translation a little bit.
The veterans are like, we already did our fucking thing, dude. Mm-hmm. We know what we are. Booing. They're probably. If you talk to any of these guys, I skated with the Blues Warriors over the weekend, man. Had a great game against these guys. Like they're not looking at that. They're not looking at that like, oh God, I did that all for nothing. No, they're like, fuck, do what you gotta do. Okay, we gave you the freedom to be able to boo anything anyway.
Let me ask you this:
What
do you think tonight in Boston, the American crowd, do they boo the Canadian national anthem?
Are they going to do the Canadian national anthem against Sweden?
Oh, well, no. But
they're not going to boo the Swedish national anthem.
They will against Finland, though.
Probably. And so what? Like, so what? Who cares?
What do you mean, so what?
If they boo it, so what?
I hope they don't.
I hope they don't. But if they do and the Canadians boo, like, who cares? If me and you went to Canada right now and we went into a hockey rink and talked to people, they will be the nicest fucking people in the world.
Yeah.
Even if they know we're American. If Canadians came down here and walked right in this room right now and talked to us, we'd be talking hockey, shooting the shit, wouldn't give a fuck if you're Canadian, you're whatever, because it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, people all over the world.
Canadians are the nicest guys and people in the world.
Don't really like Americans all over the world.
Why do you think that is?
I'm just saying. So it's not like this is just, subjected to Canada. But I think when you hear some people, and I don't want to get political, man, that's one thing we try not to do is get too political on the show, although it's been difficult over the last year or so because of everything that's going on. No, we'll follow it.
Why do you think they don't
follow the politics? We just went through an election, but I'm not here to criticize somebody for feeling a certain way or turn off a Canadian fan who maybe has been listening to us for a long time and feel like, hey, listen, man, I just don't even want to listen to them anymore because they feel differently.
I think it's weird, though.
This is an opportunity for to be heard. I hear you out. You guys gave your reasoning for why you feel like booing is necessary. I don't have to agree or disagree. It doesn't matter if I do or not, but it is what it is.
Ain't that big of a deal. It'll all work itself out. But if a country doesn't like the United States, if shit went down, you're going to need us.
Okay, that's a different story.
Well, that's the whole story. Like you're gonna need us no matter what. If fucking Kim Jong-un wants to do something to you, who you calling?
Who?
Ghostbusters?
Who
are you going to call when Xi Jinping fucking shuts down your fucking grid? Who are you going to call? We're going to take care of it.
Kim Jong-who?
Kim Jong-un, psycho. He's a really good golfer, though.
Is he?
Yeah, he had 10 hole-in-ones in one.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, he did.
He probably made them give him a toss.
Do you think
that's like Putin scoring goals
or Brady Tkachuk, if he keeps doing his thing, man, they might fucking freeze his bank account
in Ottawa?
Yeah. Trudeau's gonna be like, I'm freezing.
Freeze his
bank account like a truck driver.
You're no longer welcome here.
You're no longer welcome here.
Although
Trudeau.
Brady Tkachuk, man, nobody's star power has risen nearly as
me
high
ask
as
you.
his since this tournament began. Of everybody playing in this tournament,
He's the man.
he has
Yep. He's risen.
improved. He has risen. He has improved his star power
Yeah, yes.
greater than any other player participating in the tournament.
I love Freebird too.
And this is
all that.
why, Cam, how many times did you hear me say over the last few years, we need Brady Tkachuk in the playoffs? We're missing
I agree.
not having Brady Tkachuk in the playoffs because he just has that ability to kind of do what we're seeing right now on the big stage, to just be very entertaining, man, the way that he plays. And it's not just the fights. He's finishing checks left and right. He's scoring
goals. What are you
sick
doing?
goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He
He's
had a cou-
making plays. Like, honestly, he should probably have the C on his jersey. Although I like what Austin Matthews is doing. Austin Matthews is being chill in terms of, you know, he's just kind of fit in with the team. He's playing hard. He's playing great defensively. He and
There
Jack
it is.
Hughes, you know, haven't really been able to establish their game offensively yet. But you know what? It's going to come. They've got 2 more games to go. They may end up being the story when you get to
Totally.
the championship
Yep.
game. I
Yep.
love Austin, but
So do I.
you know, it is interesting in these games how I don't notice Mitch Marner hardly at all, except when it gets to 3-on-3 and he scored a goal. So I'll give him credit for that. And he came through when Canada needed it in a 3-on-3 situation. I didn't notice him a whole lot during the
Crazy
course
pass by
of
Crosby.
the regular season game, or the regular during the regulation. And then in the second game for Canada, I didn't notice Mitch Marner either. And so it's like, you know, some of these guys who are legit, you know, elite players, they just haven't really busted out yet. Jack Hughes and Austin Matthews
I
among
noticed Jack Hughes a lot more than Mitchie Marnie.
them.
Big time. Like, I just noticed, like, Hughes is trying to go east-west. It wasn't that type of game, man. It's not like it's crazy skilled as you think. It's more like dump it in and go get it. It's really weird. Like, these games, especially against Canada, like, guys aren't fucking coming down and dropping like, they're just like, go, north-south.
Cam, this
It's just simplified.
American team looks like they've been playing together for like 3 years.
Passes are crisp.
Oh my
Charlie McAvoy. Can I give you a little shout-out,
Mhm.
homeboy? You get fucking Connor McDavid comes down, does his thing. Everybody's going nuts.
Mhm.
They're going nuts in Canada. And then fucking McAvoy says, you know what? I'm going to see you. You're going to try to slither around right by me when a guy's right in front of me. I'm going to put you downtown Chinatown.
Who's been
He been fucking rock. He had 4 hits in that game.
Oh.
2 against, guess who?
McDavid?
And
man.
2 against who? Sidney Crosby,
Yeah. And you
who
see,
was not good.
and
in
you
that
see
game.
Big Walt or Matthew cross-checking Crosby after the whistle, doing the
course.
same thing to McCann.
They were doing it to Brady in front of the net or in
Yeah,
front of the bench
yeah.
too. They hate each other. They're fucking hurting each other.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Crosby just didn't have the same
Did you see his turnover?
energy in the second game, and his turnover led to
Was
the
not
Larkin
good.
goal. It was a great play by Boldy. Boldy was in a great position to get it up to Larkin, but it was
One
a
touch.
And I said
Come on.
to the people I was watching, I'm not just saying this, like going into the game, I said these are the games where guys like the Boldies, the Larkins, some of these guys will come through because analytically, they both rank very high, like across the board. When you look at the analytics during NHL games, like these guys are really, really good players. Larkin obviously playing with a lot of confidence right now, the way the Red Wings have been playing. He's got that speed, and he's a big game player, man. He was on the ice late in the game too,
Mhm.
when the game was tight before the Americans had scored the empty netter. So. And I would have liked to see maybe Austin Matthews just get that one just to kind of get him going.
Did
a little
JT Miller miss an empty net at the
bit.
end
He did.
too? Yeah.
He did.
I want him to get one because he
Did they even score an empty netter, or did they? Who got the?
somebody got an empty net.
Yeah, that was gonna say. Yeah.
But I think maybe Ginsel got it.
Oh,
It,
he did.
doesn't matter. He got an
Gensel,
empty
he
net.
did.
Who cares? But
The quiet assassin.
I'm gonna give Colton Parayko, who we love, a
Mhm.
shout out, man. He threw bombs on fucking JT Miller, dude. I've never really seen him fight like that, where he's like, dude, he threw
What do you
uppercuts.
mean you've never seen him fight like that? He's never fought.
Well, he's fought twice.
Has he?
Yeah, I looked it up. Fought twice. He fought a couple guys, so he's fought twice. But I've never seen him like reach out like that and throw fucking uppercut bombs. I'm
Never,
like, God
never.
dang! Like, I love that emotion by him, man. He's such a good player. People, and you called out these guys too. People were fucking tweeting at Andy. Andy's like, Colton Parayko needs to be on this goddamn team, and people are like, huh, Tanev, Colton Parayko, how dare you? He was the
Mhm.
fucking best Canadian in
Yeah.
that game, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he's one of them. I mean,
He
like,
was one of the best
obviously-
Canadians on that team.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
in-
he's
during
been
US.
playing consistent. You know, they were trailing in the game, so his ice time. I think he only played 18 minutes in that second game or whatever. But still, like he's been, super
good.
solid. You
Super
know,
solid.
I didn't like the icing in the first game against
He didn't look good in the first game.
Sweden. where he iced it and then he got beat off the draw when they scored their third goal. I think it was Eriksson Ek or whoever.
A couple
it was
guys get hurt, and he goes out against you. Like he was out there
but
making big plays.
To your point, though, I was told from the beginning this guy was pretty much a lock. I was like, why am I the only one saying this? Am I wrong? And I put it out there a couple times. I'm like, this guy's going to make the team. And I had some, the biggest of the biggest names, insiders.
Who we respect and love.
Oh, yeah. And I would say to them, I hear Parayko's making this team. This is like a day or two before they make the announcement. And the response was, I have not heard his name come up. I'm like, what is going on?
He's buried down
what do you
here.
mean you haven't heard his name? Because you want Tanev because he plays for this guy's one of the best defenders.
Oh, man.
Like elite defenders. All he does is kill plays. And I'll tell you who the other guy is on the other side for the Americans that nobody's talking about, who's been their best defenseman. He's unbelievable. Friend of the show, man. This Jacob Slavin's incredible.
Great human being, too.
Great human being.
Shut down, dude.
We loved having him on, but he's got a great stick.
Oh.
Never gets rattled.
He reads the play like boom, stick, boom, nice breakout pass. That's it. Nothing sexy.
Never gets rattled.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? He's really good. And he's been their best defenseman for the Americans. And Parayko, listen, you've got some other good defensemen too. Don't get me wrong. McCarr didn't play in the second game, so it's tough to judge.
Yeah.
But
Quinn Hughes didn't play. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're missing two monsters. Like, it is what it is.
Finland doesn't have Heiskanen.
Yeah.
They don't have Ristolainen.
They're missing.
They don't have Hakanpää. Like, they're missing a bunch of guys, right?
Yeah.
So for Finland, if they're able to, and listen, it sucks, man. We're recording this on Monday.
Sorry, dudes.
We're a couple hours away from Canada and Finland playing. Canada better hope they win this game. If they don't get to the final, and Finland does, this is bad for everybody.
It's bad for the sport.
It's bad for the sport. It's bad for the NHL. The NHL did this tournament hoping that it was going to be a USA Canada final. That's what you want. The game's in Boston. Let's hope we get there. But hey, they're going to have to take care of business against Finland. I love this group of forwards for Finland, man. They are stacked offensively. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now defensively. They leave a little bit to be desired, man. In terms of
I hate this game today.
The
for
injuries
the US.
have really hurt them.
I don't even like. I'm not excited about this.
Well, just don't want anyone to get hurt.
Don't get hurt.
But it's a good opportunity. Ottinger gets in. Kreider gets in.
Here's the bitch of it. I don't want them to think like, who do we want to play? So determine who they want to play, meaning if they lose or they don't lose. I just hate that mindset that you could possibly bring into your head organically because you can't cut it out. Like, no, do they want to play Canada? Do they want to play this? Like, I just hate that there's a game where you could decide how you play against who you are going to play in the final. It's just goofy.
I could see
you know what I'm saying?
An emotional letdown in this game for the Americans. You're not going to have Matthew playing. Everyone's already looking to the next game.
That's what I mean. I'm like,
if Sweden beats the Americans in regulation and Finland and Canada go past regulation, then Sweden is going to be their opponent.
Andy, would you sell the farm for Brady Tkachuk?
I would give up the entire organization.
You fucking do
well, it depends which organization you're talking about.
Okay.
So I mean,
you want to do our organization?
Like if I'm Colorado, am I giving up Nathan McKinnon for Brady Tkachuk?
No.
Probably not.
No.
If I'm Edmonton, am I giving up Draisaitl and McDavid?
Andy,
we're
not talking to morons.
But if I'm the St. Louis Blues, I probably would give up the entire organization. Like a 1-for-20 trade.
Like a Lindros that set them back. They had chances, but
hey, listen, I say that facetiously,
loosely,
because I wouldn't give up like Parayko, Thomas, and Kyrou and Snuggerud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's always a cutoff point.
But I would find out what is it gonna take, and if you have to get rid of two of those guys, then I would really consider it. Because he's a unicorn, just like Tom Wilson's a unicorn. He's a different type of player. This guy's going to score 30 or whatever, or he has scored 30 in the past. Well, how many goals does he have right now? I mean, Tom Wilson he's an absolute unicorn. I think that's a miss for Canada, knowing the roster the Americans were going to bring and how they were going to act.
Who would you take out?
We talked about this. Like, you put Brady and Matthew together. This was going to happen. They were going to care about this game so much.
Of course, obviously.
And you needed to protect yourself there and have an answer on your roster if you're Canada. This is not hindsight thinking. And this was the thought going into the tournament when they were selecting And, I thought maybe, and you did as well, we were talking about Sam Bennett, like he would be a guy that you would want on there.
Well, Army brought it up when we had Doug Armstrong
Yeah.
on here. He goes, hey, like, I remember him saying that to me on the road one time. He's like, well, the biggest thing is like, who are we going to keep on the roster? Do we go with a Bennett and a goddamn
Like, did you,
Wilson, or do we have a Hagel? Do we have this? Who would you take out then on the Canadian roster to put Wilson on?
and Wilson right now has got 24 goals.
I mean, come on.
I mean, and 42 points.
And their team, like, no one, like, the Washington Capitals, like, no one predicted them to be this good. Nobody.
You can
did.
say that Brady
Nobody
would
did.
fight Tom Wilson and whatever, and yeah, he would, but that's a different animal, man.
He's a
You
big
have him
boy.
on that roster for
Different.
Canada.
He's going to hurt you.
It's a different animal, and he's
I
got
agree.
20,000 screaming Canadians
I agree.
juicing him up.
They love
He's
him.
coming into the game ready to, fuck somebody up, man. Like
They didn't call anything either. I love it. The refs got to give him a little shout out, man.
Yeah.
They let him play. It's not a penalty infested bullshit game.
But I will say
Ticky-tack
this
shit.
Four Nations has been way more successful than I thought it would be.
Me too.
Okay, I'll be the first one to admit that. Now, I knew the Americans would play hard. I knew how much it would mean to them.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is like the people that are like, "Oh my God, McKinnon and Crosby, they're on the ice together before practice. They're still on the ice together. It's after practice and they're on the ice." Why wouldn't they?
I know.
Why wouldn't they be on
That's why they're the best.
What do you think they're there for, man?
I can't believe it. He's working on his skill. The best player in the world is working on his skill.
McKinnon and
Interesting.
Crosby, they're on the ice
They're
together.
psychos.
Practice is over.
They don't know what else to do in life besides play hockey right now and their family.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Practice is over.
I'm done. I got video games
And
to
they're
play.
on the ice.
They're probably like, no, I have to work on every fucking thing. I have so much on my shoulders, man. I got to work on so much shit, not only for Team Canada, but for my team
Yeah,
too.
but not only that, but they're also really good friends. So, like, why wouldn't they be like, dude, let's go on the ice before practice
What
tomorrow?
do you think they're tired? Like, they're the best in shape guys
Exactly.
in the fucking league.
This is
man.
all they do. Like, this is what they do.
No, let's go have some beers after. No, they're working
This
on
is
things.
why they're two of the greatest to ever play.
I can't believe it. So you'd sell the farm. Okay.
I would. I think
I hear you.
there's few players that I would. Selling the farm, there's really nobody you sell the farm. I mean, obviously you want to get Connor McDavid. Like, yeah, you're giving up a lot of players.
We're not taking the big boy. We're taking
but,
the big
but
boys.
for a guy like Brady Tkachuk, who will leave Ottawa eventually, I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, his no move's going to kick in, and this is going to play out exactly like it did for Matthew. Like, he's going to
100%.
get traded to where he wants to go.
Can Florida
and they'll get them both.
Can Florida
will
find
try.
a way,
Yeah.
Andy? Can they?
Mm-hmm.
Can they find a way to sign him? Are you kidding me?
I think they can, and I
That'd
think
be
that's
unbelievable.
I think that's already their mindset. I think they're already thinking that. How do we get Brady here? And you watch this tournament. How could you not want Matthew and Brady on the same team?
I want Walt and Chantel to have more kids. Walt, can you do that? Can you procreate a little bit more?
Well, he should go into the Hall of Fame just based on his kids.
I'm not happy with Walt right now.
Well, you saw my text. I sent it to you. Did I send it?
I actually blame it on Andy a little bit more.
Yeah, that's fine.
We wanted Walt on, and Andy wanted to wait for the perfect time. And now he's doing a media tour, just so you know.
I know, but
he
know
was
what?
on radio this morning, too.
Okay, but
it's all good.
It's different,
I'm just
man.
giving you shit.
I
No big
talk
deal.
to Walt a lot.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but,
in a
but that doesn't help anything.
interview format, and it's just like sometimes when you have that relationship with people, it's like, I don't know, you just don't want to bother them to come on to do an interview. You know what I mean? So I underestimated that. Maybe I dropped the ball on it, but you know what? I'll tell you this. When we get Big Walt on, it'll be the right time, and it'll be an incredible conversation. There's so much to go, Cam. We're just halfway through this Four Nations.
I agree.
So let them do the interviews now.
Okay. I just brought it up because people
there's
are
a
asking.
lot that's going to happen.
People have been texting me about it. Like, you don't have to get the big. Like, you and Andy know him more than anybody.
I sent him you know I did.
I know you did.
What did he say?
He goes, you guys are my number one. No, we're not.
He goes, you know you're my number one.
Oh, yeah.
But in
It's all good.
fairness, those guys asked him to come on. I didn't.
I know. It's all good. Don't worry about it. I was just giving you shit. Don't worry about it. How about JT Miller, man? JT Miller fights Borrego. He literally tries to throw an uppercut, and I've done this before.
He punched himself in the
Yes,
face.
he punched himself right in the face where you you reach back and you pull up, and all of a sudden, you kind of hit something, and you hit yourself right in the chin.
Man.
It's the worst thing in the world. So he was getting chirped for that. I like JT Miller, man. He's like, fuck, I'll go you.
Oh,
I'm just spinning
exactly.
around throwing. He got knocked out the other night by Braden Shen. He didn't give a fuck, came back out, scored a goal.
Mm-hmm.
These two teams, Actually, all 4 teams. I can't. They are so fun. But especially, though, Canada and goddamn U.S. is such a difference in the game. I know there's a lot of skill in the Finns and the Swedes, but when these 2 teams, there's that old school 90s fuck you mean attitude, and you can't replicate that with anybody else. That's what separates it, man.
Yeah.
That's why Fox News and CNN, they're all tweeting about, talking about U.S. doing this. Everybody's tweeting about, talking about, like, it's the people that shouldn't be doing it are talking about that game the other night, and that's a good thing for hockey.
Do you like USA in a championship game to beat Canada twice? Because, we've seen this before. I think it was in 2002 at the Olympics.
I don't know.
USA beat Canada in the round robin play and then lost to them, obviously, in overtime.
It's going to be tough to lose to them twice.
Or no, was that overtime or not? In 2002 in Salt Lake City.
I don't remember.
Obviously, the Crosby goal was scored in overtime. But 2002, I'll remember that gold medal game with Marty Brodeur made one of the most amazing saves on Brett Hall I've ever seen. From the left circle, one-timer, got a skate on it last second. I mean, it was so close to going in, just got his pinky toe on there.
So funny.
So, incredible save. But, USA, the year that Crosby, the term of 2010, right, when Crosby won the golden goal. I think USA
goal.
I think USA had beaten Canada in round-robin play in that tournament.
I know.
Then they played a second time, and Canada comes back to win the gold. So, if you're Canada and you're going to lose a game, that's the one you want to lose, versus a championship. It's going to be tough to beat Canada twice within a week, man.
It's going to be tough to beat Finland.
Yes, it will. For Canada.
Finland's like, fuck you, we're on the map, dude. Nope, fuck you, we're on the map. Let's go.
How could Sweden let that one get away?
I don't know.
Like, all you had to do was, just win that one against their depleted defense.
I agree.
Like, what's up with you, Sweden? Like, you're losing me.
You're fourth string.
You're fourth string
by a mile.
You had a chance to win that game.
There it is.
And basically punch your ticket to the championship, and you couldn't beat Finland.
Shit.
With that group of
Sweden,
defense.
you might get knocked out next year and put fucking Czechia in there.
Oh, I want.
You better watch yourself.
I want Czechia.
I want Russia.
I want Russia
in this tournament.
Could you imagine a Russian team?
Could you imagine
playing USA?
Let's go.
And playing Canada.
Are you kidding me? Let's go. Hockey's for everyone. Oh, besides the Russian players. Besides the Russian players have nothing to do with anything. They pay taxes here. No, get them out of here.
Can't get Russia. Can't get an American. can't get an American analyst on ESPN.
I know. They hate us.
Like what?
They hate us.
I'm tuning in. It's like I felt like it was supposed to be like a USA broadcast.
I ate poutine with cheese curds on it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, "Oh, this motherfucker. What's he talking about? Nasty cheese curds." Poutine? You ate poutine?
Now, who's Boston going to roll out?
Cam Neely? No.
Well, maybe. I mean,
no.
Probably like Ray Bork or something.
Another exactly.
Canadian. ESPN's like, let's bring in Ray Bork.
Who's the best American player that played in Boston? Dang, boy.
The best American player
that played for the Boston Bruins that could pump up the fucking crowd being American. Who's that, Andy?
I mean, I hope it's not like an obvious and it's just like.
That's a good question. I don't want to
bring on Bobby Orr.
Chara.
Another Canadian.
Bring out more Canadians.
Let's bring out more Canadians.
We love Canada, but go USA. No. Get it.
Welcome into ESPN Canada.
American.
It's like ESPN.ca.
To play for Bruins.
I love you, Mess and PK, man. I know you guys don't even care what I have to say anyway, regardless, but it's not about you. Remember, I'm not saying get you off the panel, but can we get some American hockey players on the panel, please?
No, of course not. How dare you say that? I don't know. Top 10 American players in Boston Bruins history. Okay, real quick. Oh, we are missing somebody. Who do you think it is? Goalie.
Timmy Thomas, baby.
Yeah, goddamn right. Although I didn't like how he didn't go to the.
He didn't go to the White House.
He didn't go to the White when Obama was there, and I did not like that.
No, he didn't go to the White House.
I didn't like it. Even if you don't like Joe Biden, but you go fucking
to
shake
the
their
White
fucking
House.
hand. Are you kidding? I think that's petty pussy bullshit.
Yeah.
I want to get Tim Thomas on.
That's poutine bullshit.
That's poutine. I ate poutine last night. Everybody's like, all these Americans like, what the fuck's he talking about? These Canadian subtle things.
Before we go to USA and Canada, Mark, tell us what it meant to represent Canada. PK, what did it mean to represent Canada? All right, let's go to the game.
Billy Guerin.
BG, baby.
Hal Gill. What's up, Big Hal? Saw him the other day. Mike O'Connell. Mike Milbury. Torrey Krug. Steve Hines. Brian Rolston. Frank Prismic. Let's see. Keep going. Craig Janney, our boy. And number 1 is Timmy Thomas. So not many.
Not a whole lot to choose from
Not
there.
many.
But I don't think it has to be a Bruin, though. I know Montreal's different because they have so much history there.
Yeah. Oh, well, you can pick out anybody.
And you've got a lot of guys that...
Who was their guy?
But they brought up Mario Lemieux. He's not a former Montreal Canadian.
Yeah, but he's Mr. Canadian hockey, baby.
Mr. Quebec, too.
I love Mario.
I love Mario, too.
I love
How
him
cool
to
is
death.
he?
I would love to
He
pick
looks
his
like
brain.
the Prime Minister.
I would love for him to be the Prime Minister of Canada. And Wayne.
Both of them. Did you see there's jerseys that people are wearing at the game?
51.
Canadian jerseys, the 51 jersey.
I had that in my notes.
Hey.
It's funny. Sorry. It's all good. We'll be okay.
The shit kickers out there in Saskatchewan, they may not like the booing. You know, it's funny because like
Midwest
all the Canadians
love us
I
too.
know that
They love us too,
have
baby.
moved down to the States permanently that
Shit, yeah.
have hockey ties. I mean, that's what brought them here. They are very angry about the booing.
I know.
They don't like the booing.
They don't. I just look at it like it's all going to pass, blah, 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 blah. There's other things we need to worry about. That it's all good. It pumped me up. It makes it more edgy. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care.
Prongs has been tweeting a lot.
Has he? Haven't noticed.
What did he say? He went off Instagram. I guess he's just on Twitter now. He's on X. He's just tweeting.
We love him. It's our boy.
He's like tweeting about the game.
Yeah.
He's very into the game.
Well, yeah.
And he called me Andrew, and like people were like, they thought that like, he's always.
I did.
Yeah.
I go, you call him Andrew.
Yeah, so did some other people.
I'm like, Andrew. It's fucking Andy. Andy would want to be strict nasty because he copied Biz, but I call him Andy. You're Andy.
You know that's not true, though. You know, I was called Strict Nasty long before there was ever like a Biz Nasty.
No one's ever going to believe that.
I know, but it's true.
But no one's going to believe it.
But don't spread the...
No one is going to believe that.
But...
Because Biz Nasty put it on his first for years, and then you're like, I'm going to be Strict Nasty.
No,
and then Benner did the same thing to Ben Nasty, so you're just caught in a mix. You're a follower. It's all good.
Ben Sanity. No, I'm not. In fact, I'll give a shout out to Ben Boyd and Dan Kriesheiser. Man, they were the ones that gave me the nickname years ago.
Yeah, it stuck. Okay.
It did stick.
Makar. Sick?
Okay. How about them bending the rules for Canada, by the way?
I saw that.
It's so funny. It's like, Canada, no, you can't. Okay, you're allowed to now. We've changed the rule. Now, listen. I said right off the bat that I thought it was a dumb rule anyway, and there should be some flexibility with the rules. So I don't have a problem. But it's
I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, you're trying to protect your NHL players. If a guy like takes a shot off his foot and he's less than 100% and he plays for the New York Islanders, if I'm Lou Lamoriello, I don't want you forcing him to play when he's got a small little hairline fracture. There's got to be another option for another player to come in.
There it is.
And so you should have some roster flexibility. They should have taken more players, although you're taking the best of the best. Nobody wants to go and not play and just be along for the ride. Jamal Mayer's had an idea. He's got lots of ideas.
What's he saying?
And he was like, I think they should have, each roster should be forced to have one player under the age of 23 who you just have that's kind of hanging around, and then maybe you bring him in.
Jammer, what's up with another good take, baby? I love you.
In the need, if there's a need to add a player.
I agree.
And so instead of like having like an established superstar who...
It's like drinking old time. Yeah.
And like he's like not playing.
Yeah.
It's like when Brad Marchand, like, listen, I know everyone was like, he's so funny, but there's a little bit of like, the first game he didn't play as much, and he's like, I'm the biggest fan. I just love you guys are unbelievable to watch. I just love watching you guys play. And part of him is being like, motherfuckers, you need to put my ass on the ice too. I ain't here just to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Scored a goal.
He did. So
nice goal.
And he's been great. I think the way that he's kind of fit in with everybody, and
sure,
he's got that personality.
I don't know about that. I think that even Brad Marchand walks in that locker room with the monsters, I think he's like, goddamn right, I feel good.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like, I need more time.
No, but he's playing.
Yeah, I was gonna say
he didn't play that 3-on-3 a lot, is what he was saying.
I think you get humbled when you're around Crosby.
But the second game he played with all those, he was playing a shit ton.
I'd play him all fucking up and down the lineup,
and he had the puck a lot, and he looked quick, and
he looked fine. It's been really good. And Andy and I were like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
I didn't understand what it was.
Yeah, we didn't know the
and
rules.
Talking to a lot of players, trust me, they were
They
saying
didn't
the
know
same
either.
thing. They were like, I don't know what the fuck it is.
I don't know.
And listen,
I know.
I would like to know what Alex Pietrangelo is thinking right now. I haven't asked him. Do you regret pulling out of the tournament after watching
you
it?
talked to him before.
Yeah, and he basically was like, I'm not going to play.
Hurt, man.
And
Remember
he wants the rest.
Remember?
Took a shot off the foot.
No.
He got hit.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Hard.
What do you think that did to him?
That was after, though. That was after he had pulled out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been afterwards. Okay. I was thinking maybe he got rocked so bad he's just like,
There are some guys that just don't. It's so funny because McDavid and McKinnon, like, they're so fast when you watch them play that they make players like Cirelli and Hagel, these guys look like fourth liners when they come on the ice, because there's so much great talent.
Benner had more points than McKinnon in that game.
He's third on the team in scoring.
Benner had more points than McKinnon in that last game.
He's third on the team in scoring.
So if you guys keep chirping Benner,
yeah.
So you could have spread the chirps around a little bit.
Yeah.
Benner, the Gunsel goal wasn't good.
Okay.
The Raymond goal was an unbelievable shot going 100 miles an hour on a 2-on-1. He went low fucking blocker.
Larkin?
Dylan Larkin, my bad.
Yeah.
He went low blocker.
That's a hell of a shot.
It's a hell of a shot. But Gunsel, you got to get
and
that.
he made some great saves in overtime in the first game to obviously get that win. Now, you can argue, well, if he makes the saves he's supposed to make in regulation, then, we're not even – the game didn't even require overtime. Yeah. But, listen, I think he's been fine. When you're Canada and you've got that roster and you score one goal and your goaltender gives up two, don't complain about the goaltending.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, they weren't that shitty. You know what I'm saying?
This is
Hellebuck, the goal that he let in against Finland, the only goal that he could let in against Finland was a fucking terrible goal.
Mm-hmm.
Went through his arm. And that's why, and there was a lot of question marks coming into the tournament. Are we going to see the Hellebuck that we see in the regular season in the NHL? Or are we going to see the playoff version? And that's why PK is like, oh my God, get him out. Like, make a change after one period. I think
they didn't talk about the U.S. at all.
Even Steve Levy was like, really? It's like, it's been one period.
Got that fur coat on.
I don't mind the fur coat.
He reminds me of Denzel Washington.
But the suit was like a little too Don Cherry-ish.
What's that movie called, that badass drug movie with Denzel Washington? God, it was badass. He had that fur coat, and all of a sudden the FBI sees him at the boxing match with the fur coat on. Mm-hmm. God, you didn't probably see it. It's too cool of a movie for you.
I didn't see that.
No, it's badass. But son of a bitch, I can't remember.
I would wear one of those fur coats, though. Mm-hmm. I would.
You look really good in it. You look really good in that.
Was that squirrel? What was that?
Nah, who knows what it is. It's probably something expensive.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Looked comfortable as shit. Outside of hockey, though, I got to give, Richie Incognito. He's a weird bird.
The bully?
He tried to fight me at Harry's one night. We all know the story where I'm there with my buddies, nobody tough, and they were all there, and they sucked, and they were drinking. He'd kick my fucking ass so bad. And we're talking to girls, and then him and Justin Fry came up to me, and I had this fuck you match with them in front of everybody, and their whole team's like, fight him! And I'm thinking, you guys have a month before training camp starts, and you want your offensive lineman to fight me in a bar at Harry's when I know all the cops, by the way. It was the weirdest situation, so I never really liked him personally. But in this situation with the bully thing, with that Jonathan Martin, what a pussy he is. He couldn't cut it in the fucking NFL.
Did they make up the bullying?
They made the whole story up, and Jonathan Martin finally comes out 10 years later and says, no, he never bullied me. Nobody on that team bullied me. Richie Incognito posts pictures of all them partying nonstop. Bullying here, bullying here. His mom was the one that started it. And Adam Schefter and Legacy Media, of course, that's dying, by the way, no wonder, fucking ran with this and ran with it. And it's an easy story to run with because Richie Incognito is such a loud guy. He's dirty. He did some weird things at his house where he beat up his Lamborghini and stuff like that. Who cares? This was a fucking made-up story, just like they've had for years and years and years. And this guy never got bullied one time. And Richie Incognito got suspended, got kicked to the curb.
No, his reputation.
Still reputation, my God, sunk to high heaven. A black African-American guy. So now there's racism
Wasn't
involved.
it the player's mom who came forward with the accusation?
Jonathan Martin, you pussy.
So
You
wait
couldn't
a
handle
minute.
it.
So Jonathan Martin was saying at the time that he was saying he was getting bullied. So all these years went by. It's been like 10 years.
And he never said anything. He never counted. He didn't say it. It was his
Didn't
mom.
Incognito ever say like I didn't fucking do shit to him?
Of course he said it.
And
they don't listen to
didn't
him.
he go try to like beat the fuck out of Jonathan Martin?
I would beat the shit out of him, and I'd smack his daddy around too if he's got one. Just to let him know, like, shut your fucking wife up too, because his mom's the one that pushed it so she can keep the money.
Can you sue?
I hope they can countersue, but the NFL did an investigation.
Oh, because he had a contract.
The NFL had an investigation, and they're like, yes, there was bullying. How did that happen? Tell me how that led up to this bullying. In NFL, with Adam Schefter and all those guys, with all this information, they said, no, there was.
You think Richie could sue for millions of dollars?
I hope so.
And maybe he lost some money because of it.
Yes, he did. Of course he did. But he still played because he was that good. Like, he just retired in like 2021.
So let me tell you this story. So like,
and he's a dick. Don't get me wrong.
No, he's not though. On the field, he is. And off the field,
he was to me, dude.
I got you, but like
Andy acts like he's hanging out with these guys. This guy tried to literally fight me.
Yeah, I know.
At a fucking
but
bar.
you were probably being
no, I wasn't
inappropriate.
Have I ever fought anywhere? Have you ever seen me get into any sort of fight anywhere ever? Have you ever heard of one? Have I ever got into any trouble when it comes to that win?
At a bar in New Jersey, you got.
That's true. That was my first year,
Yeah.
but I didn't get in trouble for it.
Okay.
But I did admit that. I did admit that.
Let me explain something real quick. So Richie Incognito would get all these personal fouls when he played for the Rams.
Stepping on guys.
Oh,
hitting
like
guys.
dirty as
Yeah,
fuck.
dirty.
But I want my offensive lineman dirty, man. That's
do
old
I.
school. Okay, I want
So
my
I
offensive
don't
lineman. I want you stepping on hands and
Like that.
ankles and shit.
Timigamgo guy or whatever his name is.
So, they actually pulled him off the field one time because he got another personal foul penalty, and they pulled him off the field. You don't ever see offensive linemen taken off in the middle of a series.
No.
But anyway, I called him a thug on the radio, and so the Rams PR staff.
Racist.
It's not.
How dare you say that?
Oh my God, are you offended?
Oh God, Maddie. How dare
I
you?
said he was a thug on the field at the time.
Yeah.
But like not like
he is.
But like not being I was saying at the same time I love this guy. He's fucking awesome. He's a thug, but
We're all thugs on the ice on the field, man. It's all good.
biggest neck you've ever seen, right? And
He would
so
have kicked my ass.
oh my God. So anyway, so they pulled a prank on me where when I went out to Rams that day. I used to go out there occasionally, shoot the shit with everybody. I love the PR staff and like even Jim Haslett, the old coach, man, would bring me up to his office, let me hang out. Like he was cool as shit. Went over to his house a couple times. I loved being around the NFL. It was cool. But they had this whole prank that he was pissed that Richie Incognito was pissed because I called him a thug on the radio.
Yeah.
And they're like, we need you to like talk to him after the. And I'm like, fine, man, but you guys got to know, I need some security there. If he does some shit, I'm suing everybody. You know, like he may fucking kill me. You know, I'm like, I'm joking or whatever. So they brought him over and all this type of stuff.
What did he say to you?
He just played along with it. Like, what'd you call me? Blah blah. I'm like,
So he's a good guy now?
oh yeah.
Okay. Tried to fight me at the bar, but he didn't beat up Andy, so he's a good guy. I never said he's a good guy, but in this particular case,
I was on a plane with him one time coming back from Phoenix too, and he had some history in college with some shit that went down.
he's a whack job, but he wasn't a bully in this particular situation.
No, he wasn't.
That's all what I'm saying. And this guy didn't come out and say, wait, Jonathan could have done was come on back. No. No, he didn't bully me. Never said anything. And then the investigation with the NFL, that's scary. That's the legacy media running with this narrative.
I'm confused.
It just shows.
Why wouldn't the Dolphins come out and say this didn't happen?
They did.
How come his teammates didn't say this didn't happen?
They probably did.
Is there a special, like a 30 for 30 on this?
I don't know, but I'm going to watch it if there is. It just shows
There needs to be.
It just shows you how the legacy media will run with something to fit their narrative. Like that's a perfect story for them. A big hillbilly white boy bullying an African-American player who's getting bullied and he's got depression and he's got to quit because
my God.
He's a pussy.
Who is?
Fucking Jonathan Martin. Come out and say you weren't bullied. Now you're saying it 10 years later. I don't like Richie Incognito, but fuck that dude.
Okay, but time out. And I'm not going to completely
him.
disagree, but I will say that I appreciate him coming out. I don't care if it was 10 years later. I appreciate the fact that he is he's saying it now.
The damage could have been done for 10 years.
Yeah, but
he could have lost millions and millions and millions of dollars, and you're too much of a pussy to come out. That's just like a woman.
I'm glad that I know, but I'm glad that he's saying it though. Because
10 years later, he's a pussy. I don't give him any credit at all. It's just like a woman.
For Richie's sake, I'm happy.
Like a woman coming out and say, he raped me. He raped me. And then 10 years later, after he gets drugged through the mud.
The Duke lacrosse.
Exactly what I'm talking about. Well, no, it didn't happen. Fuck you. You need to go to jail too. You lied. You should go to jail too. Like, I don't think he should in this case, but wow, that sucks. It's scary. That is a scary thing, man. The media could run with something so bad and then do an investigation and not find anything and still, that's scary. That's why I brought that up. Mm-hmm. But he's your best buddy. He wouldn't even know Andy if you fucking, why are you kidding? Try to fight me. If you were there, you'd be like, Jesus, dude.
Dude, I would.
Ask my buddies that you know.
I'd be under the table.
My buddy's like, whoa, Cams, don't. I go, this fuck. I go, yeah. I was so mad. Then Keith Tkachuk goes on the radio the next day. And because it kind of got out. Mm-hmm. And because people were talking and stuff, I don't know, it got out. Mm-hmm. And Keith Tkachuk goes, Cam's the biggest pussy ever. He turned him down at Harry's. Chirped me on, he had this like radio thing he did, and he's chirping me that I didn't fight Richie Incognito. And he's my teammate, by the way, at the time. But he's joking because I would have got killed and we both would have been arrested and I would have got kicked off the team and ruined my career.
You would have you had a broken orbital bone.
He would have fucking crushed me.
Like Rob Ray.
I'm tougher than dog shit.
Like Rob Ray.
We're going to have him on.
He had a broken orbital.
My twister, baby.
That's got to be the most painful injury.
No, it's not.
Okay, you don't know because you've never had a broken orbital bone.
It's not the most painful injury.
The pressure of the eye coming out. The eye might just pop out.
You know the most painful injury is getting burned. Okay, that's the most painful injury. And you don't know about injuries because you never play anything competitive. But an orbital bone will fuck you up for a long time and make your face look fucked up too. It's like you see Todd Fedoruk. Saw him the other day in Philly. Mm-hmm. You look at his face from goddamn Bugard. It's slanted down. That's where he's got his goddamn steel rod in there to keep his face fucking from not falling down.
I've been getting a lot of these messages on Instagram, and it's like random women, and they're like asking me to like do things to them and stuff like that, and like, hey, you know, follow me, and I want to have a private conversation with
bots?
You. Who are they?
They're bots, dude.
I don't think they're bots. I mean, they're just like reaching out to me left and right.
No women want to do anything to you besides your wife.
Do you know that?
Just so you know.
Okay,
if we walk, like, no women.
I'm just saying,
no one's gonna look at you and be like, I want to suck you off so bad.
Oh my!
No one's gonna do that. So when
that's what they say. They say things like that.
It's a bot. It's a dude.
Oh my God!
So if you want that, you can. Have you ever seen? Speaking of this,
Starbucks.
Clips, no, not Starbucks. The clips of people in what time we got? Am I good? The clips that you see in god dang the Philippines or no.
Thailand.
There it is.
Where they're chasing him down in the street.
These like people from other countries are walking down, and they're
grabbing
women everywhere, and they're grabbing them. They grab Andy like this, and they grab your wallet. They steal your wallet, and they do this. And that's what they're grabbing the dicks. They're doing that. And half of them have wee-wees, just so everybody knows. And people say it's so cheap there to where you can go there. That's why all these Americans go to Thailand, married. And they go there. It's so cheap. You could buy these hookers for fucking cheap, and they'll lick your fucking ass all night. Don't know, Andy. We don't need to know.
I'm just asking, like,
it's not $2,000. It's probably $150.
These girls that are coming into my DMs, that are like showing up in my DMs
from the Philippines,
they're coming from all countries,
from Southeast Asia.
All
countries. They're real. My point is, it's so anybody's like, I'm going to Thailand with my buddies. You know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're getting fagged up.
They'll throw you in jail there too
for drugs. Oh yeah.
You can't even smoke weed there.
They will throw you in jail so goddamn bad, Andy. The jails there are horrific. You will be beaten and fucked up bad.
But if you go with one of these prostitutes, is that illegal?
No. They're everywhere. They come up swarm
so you're
you.
Not
they're all like good looking.
So that's not illegal for that.
They all look good looking.
Even the
dudes.
You can get some cheap suits there too.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you.
Make you some
I might
suits.
get got if I went there single. Okay? I ain't going. Hey, Kate, I'm going to Thailand. No, she's like, no, you're not. But if I went there single and I saw a fucking cute little fucking Thai girl that has a wee-wee, I wouldn't know until you know. Mm-hmm. Like, they look like a woman. It's really odd.
What's the Eazy-E song? What I thought was...
he died AIDS.
Well, he might have, yeah. That's okay. I saw the
What's he
show.
doing?
I saw the movie.
What's he doing?
He died.
Of AIDS?
One of the best
How'd he
rappers of
get
all
AIDS?
time. He was very promiscuous, dude. He
You
was
know?
living that gangster
I like how
life.
what Meek Mill just posted about Elon Musk. He's like, Elon Musk has 14 kids. I gotta keep doing my thing.
Does he really have 14 kids?
Oh yeah,
Elon does?
Elon does.
With how many women?
Tons. He breeds, and the reason why he
Oh,
says
so he's
that,
not a good.
and I don't
he's
agree
not
with
a
that.
good dad.
I don't think so. I like Elon. I like what he's doing, but I don't think he's a good daddy. You got 14 kids. You're a fucking joke, just like goddamn Nick Cannon. He's got 14 fucking different chicks with. You're not a daddy. I don't like that. To breed, just to breed. These kids are like, who's my fucking dad? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like that. I don't. If you had fucking 5 kids with 3 different girls, I'd be like, Jesus, Andy, calm the fuck down.
Like all these like football players.
Yeah,
do?
like 15
like Cromartie from
Exactly. I can't even.
Hard Knocks.
He's like, it's Jamarcus, it's the bird, the
And they're like, 3 of them were like the same age.
I'm like, I
but they're
hate
not
that.
twins. They just have 3 different moms.
I don't like that. But anyway, Meek
Well,
Mill.
you don't understand the culture. You're not from our neighborhood, dude. You don't get it.
What neighborhood?
My neighborhood,
What neighborhood is that?
where I went.
Andy
to,
grew up in the hood. Andy's a little bit of everything. He's a country boy. He's hood. He's this. He's that. Like, good God, you're a chameleon.
I went to Parkway North.
You're
High
a
School.
chameleon, is what you are.
Parkway North High School, where
I
girls'
just-
waters would
so Meek
break
Mill-
in high school. They had babies in high school.
I
Pregnant women running around everywhere in high school.
I saw a girl pregnant in middle school named Velma. Sweetest
Oh,
little
yeah.
black girl from the city.
I had a girl-
sweetheart, and she was pregnant, and everybody's like, "You're doing good." I'm thinking, who?
Her
what the
water,
fuck?
her water broke in 10th grade
Velma,
in history class,
sweet woman.
and I was like the class clown. I got voted class clown,
Oh, they
and
most popular guy in school.
and so like whenever you went to the nurse, no matter what it was, I mean, your arm could be falling off. They would just give you crackers and like
Animal crackers.
no, like saltines.
Yeah, here you'll be fine.
Lay down, have some saltines.
But Meek Mill had a
So
tweet.
I was
Well,
yelling.
I was in my story.
I'm telling you, her water broke, and I'm yelling like,
There's a flood.
"Get her some saltines, get her some crackers."
Get her a baby daddy. That's the bitch of it. A girl was 13 years old and got pregnant. Like, the dad's not going to be involved. Like, there was just a complete mistake. Like, I saw it in middle school.
Voted class clown.
No one cares. But Meek Mill's like, I want to have as many kids as him. And somebody goes, "Oh, is Diddy going to impregnate you?"
Oh God,
It was the
who
funniest.
said that? Meek Mill.
Meek Mill's one that gets
Meek
banged out
Mill's,
by.
he's tight with.
He's the one that gets
Robert
banged out.
Kraft.
He's the one that gets banged out by Diddy, and so people were chirping him so bad. It's unbelievably funny. I think AB jumped in on that as well.
AB.
Antonio Brown. So funny. He's hilarious, man. Anyway, it's all good, man. A lot of good hockey here.
Have you enjoyed the break a little bit? Has it been nice to have a little bit of a break?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be doing every radio game coming up here, so it's every other day. But yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go to IRC tomorrow.
Okay, good.
We got Rob Ray on today. He was really good.
Yeah, we've got some good ones coming.
We got
up
some
this
damn
week.
good ones coming up. We got some big boys coming on for us, And yeah, man, have you been enjoying the break? Because you're the one that's.
Well, I was in Chicago this past weekend, so
Andy goes to everything, Andy, I was wondering because I called Andy yesterday. Kate and I are just chilling. We're doing our thing at a bar. And I'm like, "Hey, man, can you come in at 10:15? I got to do an autograph signing with Bernie Federko, Hall of Famer, at so-and-so place at 1 o'clock. I need to be there by 12:45. I don't want to be late."
There was no issue. Yeah.
But I called Andy and next to Kate, and I'm like, "Hey, man, look, I know you're driving back now. This is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon." And I'm like, "Hey, can you come in 15 minutes early?"
No problem.
She's like, I got things to do. I'm like, in just 15 minutes, dude, I just got to do this. Well, Ty's got this, Ivy's got that, but I got 3 kids. And I'm like, Kate, I'm like,
I didn't say that.
I'm like, God damn.
I didn't say any of that.
And then he's like, I got a thing in the morning. I got this.
I
got
did.
that.
I had a thing at 9 o'clock this morning.
I'm like, son of a
so
bitch.
I didn't say anything about my kids, but I will
No,
say this.
you did. No,
Well-
Ty's coming. I'm coming back. I'm gonna be tired. I don't know. I need that extra 50. It's 10:30 in the morning.
So my wife is with Chloe in Dallas, dude. They've been out of town in Dallas all weekend for her soccer. So we've been splitting up all this weekend. I feel bad right now, man. I left my 2 little kids at home. So
How old are they?
11 and 8.
Okay,
Like they're okay for an hour. Or
they're
two.
fine. They're chilling, watching TV.
Yeah.
They're not getting anything.
Are they gonna call like Division of Family Services on me?
11?
Maybe I should take that out.
Who's 11?
I don't know what the rule is. Ivy is.
She's 11.
She just turned 11.
I keep thinking she's the youngest.
I know. No, she's the middle.
You know, they're fine. I think my parents were leaving us at a really young age, way out in the middle of the woods. We're fine.
Okay. They don't act like you got to one up me on the, you know.
I'm trying to help you because
Okay,
you just
so
said child services is going to help.
So you called and I was like, yeah, no problem.
No, you.
I go. I think
Even
I can
Kate
do
looks
that.
at me. She's like, so can he go 15 minutes early? Like, I don't know what answer I got out of him. Yeah, and you still are at 10:30, so we didn't go 15 minutes early.
Well, I had a Zoom. I didn't know how long this was.
An hour and a half
till.
Zoom.
We did have a long Zoom. I mean, it was whatever.
It's all good.
It is what it is.
I'm just chirping a little bit. No big deal.
Why are you chirping?
Well, because you could have just been like, yeah, man, I got you. And then there's always something. That's all I wanted, 15 minutes.
Here's what you said.
No, we talked on the phone.
What do you have? I go, we can. I'm just going to be tired on the road driving now.
See what I mean?
I go, I have a Zoom at 9.
Oh, is this
shouldn't last more than 45 minutes, so I'll head up as soon as it's done. What's the big deal with that?
It's never a, yeah, I got you. It's always like, I don't know. I got this,
Well,
I got that.
You caught me at the wrong time.
And you still didn't show up early. So
I did. I was here before you.
Were you in here, though?
No, I was in the parking lot before you.
Exactly.
I texted you. I'm like, where are you? You're like, I'm on my way.
I showed up at 10:08.
and he came in. And who was here?
What time did he get in here, Maddie?
I was here.
10:28. Yeah, 10:28.
Yeah, but I was in the parking lot when you pulled up.
It's all good. I do love your family. I do, and I root for Ty.
Okay.
Big time.
Oh, thanks.
I'm like, does anybody else call you and say how Ty do? Does anybody else? Do you show people? I bet you nobody does. Besides maybe his grandpa and grandma, maybe, or something like that. I do.
Yeah.
I always ask about your kids, no matter what.
Yeah.
And if I cuss when I'm talking to you in the car, I apologize.
I had to tell him over. I had a little
messed
Ivy
up.
in the car.
Oh.
And the way you're talking in the speakerphone.
No, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry, little Ivy. Like, I don't want that.
I tell you over and over.
If Ty's on there, like, he's okay. He'll be okay. But little Ivy,
kids,
don't do it. I'm not doing that.
They're 8 years old. Cam, they chirp each other on the ice.
I
Like
know.
they call other kids like dickhead and bitch.
Oh, we used to call. I mean,
no.
Things have changed.
Okay, you weren't playing at 8. This is 8.
We were playing. I was playing soccer. I was playing every sport
but the kids,
possible.
They weren't saying bitch.
Oh yeah, we were.
Not at 8.
Okay,
dickhead.
You don't think I learned from my mom and dad when they cussed every second of the day?
F you.
Yeah. In soccer and baseball and everything.
In baseball?
Yeah. Fuck off. You know, people chirp each other in baseball big time.
I don't see a whole lot of chirping in baseball.
my buddies
Maybe if there's an inside pitch, you're brushing them off.
There's chirping everywhere.
You know where there's a lot of chirping right now is in the women's basketball on the women's side.
What happened?
They're just really been going at it.
Whatever.
Somebody scored 50 yesterday. I don't know if it was a college game or what it was, but somebody put up 55 points, man. Imagine
a woman?
that.
And women's?
All three of them.
It ain't easy to be a white boy in the NBA. He's getting fucking bashed every goddamn day.
But he plays I don't even know if he plays in the NBA or if he plays in the G League or what.
The one guy that never got chirped was goddamn Larry Bird. You ever talk to all those cats? Bird would be like, "You gonna put this white boy on me?" You know, like when some white guy's covering him, he's like, "Who you got this white boy on me for?" Like Larry Bird was one of the most hardcore chirpers,
trash talkers ever,
and he just looks kind of goofy. Like he doesn't look like an athlete.
But he's sick.
He was unbelievable, mean.
Oh, tough from French Lick, dude.
Indiana, baby.
Yeah.
French Lick, Indiana.
Yeah.
Little hillbilly town, baby.
He's got some kids out of wedlock, I think.
Yeah. Okay. If you have 14 kids out of wedlock, even Elon, who I like, I'm like, fuck you. Like, you're not a good dad.
He's on the...
You know?
He's part of our nation's security right now.
Yeah, he is. He's fucking saving us fucking tax dollars.
But
how dare you?
A lot of these companies are going after him, though, too, and he's...
Have fun with that. These corrupt companies are going after him. Go ahead. I like when they're all pissy.
He's like, why are we spending $2 trillion on...
Why are we spending $180 million
paper
on trans kids in Ethiopia? What? Why do they want to make everybody trans?
Is that really true?
Why do we say sex operations in Morocco?
Is that really true?
Yeah, man.
Cooper DeJean.
So odd to me.
Cooper DeJean, you see his high school basketball highlights. I told you.
He's an athlete, dude. Big time athlete. You know, he could jump, do anything. Like he's fast.
But the NBA,
hockey, the
NBA All-Star game, none of the big dogs ever like LeBron's never done a slam dunk contest.
He's whatever. you know, he's like, my knee hurts. Now he didn't play, and he's showing all the photos, and just, oh God, he's annoying.
Is he?
He's so annoying.
He's not getting any more likable for you.
So
I liked him during the Olympics.
I fucking can't stand him. Oh, I hated him during the Olympics, man.
I liked him because he was
Remember
so
he did that
good.
to that kid?
He
comes out and he goes, fuck God. Then he goes,
don't ever do that again.
This little kid's
waved his finger at him.
This little kid's like, oh, God, help me. And then he goes in and he starts going like this. Fucking hated that. Oh, I hated it.
I remember that. No, he was no
so
Steph
much,
Curry.
dude.
All right, so
Did
how do
you see
you
Luka Doncic, his brothers?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, where are they from? Serbia?
Slovenia.
Those guys are hardcore right there.
Oh, gangsters.
Monster, gangster, sons of bitches. Eastern European gangsters.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Scary.
Don't fuck with them.
Well, you're in the United States now. There's not. You're gonna get it.
I went to Parkway North, dude.
Andy went to
I
Parkway
can
North.
handle myself.
You're still in the U.S. You're not there anymore.
I can handle myself in
He's
those
a big,
situations.
scary-looking dude.
Who's gonna win the Four Nations?
Canada.
Oh God.
I know.
Oh God.
I don't even.
Oh no. Canada's gonna come back and
Here's
win.
my thing, and I hate to say this because I want U.S. to win so bad because I want to put out fucking Freebird and shit kicking and fucking American flags everywhere. I just think that it was so hyped up on Saturday night, and everybody came out of the woodworks and USA, which I love, but I think Canada's like, fuck this. They're gonna beat Finland, and it's gonna be a close game, and they're gonna end up winning because Crosby's gonna take over.
Okay.
I don't want it to happen.
You don't think
USA? I got a goddamn tattoo on my fucking leg at 17 years old in Windsor, in Canada. You have an eagle and American
it's
flag,
like a
baby.
tramp stamp.
It's on my leg. Tramp stamps when you get effed from behind and they blow a load on your leg.
I know
Remember
what
that?
it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Do I gotta tell you?
I know. And like a lot of women will have the.
Yeah, I know. That's what you do when you do things.
Do
no
you
one's
like?
blowing their load on
do
my
you like
fucking
the women tattoos?
No, I don't at all. But my point is, I think Canada's going to come back and win because of all the hype. It's too good to be true right now for Team USA. And I hope I'm goddamn wrong.
We're getting some.
And if Brody clips this off and everybody's pissed at me in the U.S., I don't want that. But it is. I just say this, and usually when I come out and say stuff like this, the opposite happens. So that's why I'm doing it.
So the McAvoy's resting tonight too.
I would rest a lot of people.
Kreider's in.
I hate this.
Jake
game.
Sanderson's in.
I hate this game tonight. And this is coming out tomorrow, so we don't know what's going to happen, but it could just be nothing and whatnot. And I love all you guys and girls.
It's
and
tough to play a game that
Andy,
you know means nothing.
Andy, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And then they're going to be like, they're going from this high down to here.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get back up.
I know.
I don't think
it's going to be hard.
I just said that.
It's going to be hard because Canada has to be up for this game.
Yes.
And they're going to just be able to maintain that. Now, let me just explain to the people, because Cam is such a front runner. Last time we did the show, he's like, give me Canada on my side because they've been a little mad at me. And then today he switches it and he puts USA on his side.
Just say it. Thank you.
Now he wants the USA on his side. But
I'm more USA than you.
Look at this thing, man. Look at this beautiful from
It looks
Fanatics,
beautiful.
man.
Unis
You got it on there too.
I'm Canadian and US.
Me too.
Oh yeah, you lived up there?
My family's from there. I'm a quarter Canadian.
Your family's from everywhere. It's interesting. His family's from Buffalo, Sweden, Israel.
Isn't that amazing? I've got 3 of the 4. No one's from Israel. But I will say on my dad's side, his mom is from St. Catharines, Ontario.
St. Kitty's.
And his dad is from St. Catharines. So he's like full-on Canadian, basically.
You're Canadian, man. What else do you want to be?
Or his grandfather, I'm sorry.
You're Mexican too?
Grandma and his grandfather. Oh no, I'm sorry. His mom.
Oh Jesus, Andy! Like no one cares. Like seriously, no one cares. No one fucking cares. Like they just don't.
His mom.
Like, they don't care.
His mom is from St. Catharines.
My God.
Her dad, obviously, was from. He played hockey back in the day.
I think
so. So I am. What percentage am I? What percentage am I?
Don't care.
Of Canadian, and
0.
I'm part Czech, part Polish.
You're everything. So just in case something
Sweden.
See,
my mom was born and raised in Sweden.
You sway in the wind. You'll fucking lick your finger. You'll fucking put it in the air, and whatever the wind's blowing, that's where you're at.
Okay,
and that's where me.
But
and
my
you
mom's
disagree.
Swedish. My dad's mom is Canadian. Like, dude, I got a lot of stuff going on here. Like, I could play
Swedish,
for
Canadian, Jewish, American. What else?
Czech Republic,
Czech Republic,
Polish,
Russian.
I don't know.
North
Maybe
Korean?
some Russian. I don't have
In
any
case things
North
go
Korean.
down, you could be like, hey,
No.
I love you.
No,
I'm a good golfer too,
no,
Kim Jong-un.
Unfortunately, I don't have.
Oh, phew. What about Chinese? China.
I don't have any Chinese. It's
Interesting.
interesting. You may find that hard to
What
believe,
about
but I've got no Chinese.
Thailand?
Oh, I want to go there so bad.
Andy,
Beautiful beaches.
I saw these women, and I'm like, they look goddamn cute,
Yeah,
man.
they are.
Like, they're all like
So what happens? They grab
if I
you.
had
Where
a
are they taking you?
fucking upstairs, that little shithole room with load everywhere and
gross.
hepatitis A through Z.
Oh God.
But you could, if you had money, though, you could be like, give me the best of the best. Give me this, give me that. Give me that badass
What do
hotel room,
you-
and then I'm getting down with it all night.
What are
you
you
know.
saying? The best of the best.
Give me the best, hottest chicks you got.
in the cleanest room you got.
Cleanest room. Get the ones that I got to look at their fucking bloodline or their card where they get tested, so I know they don't have
You're
goddamn
not getting
herpes.
any of that shit, dude.
you
It's
have-
all fake. What are you gonna trust that? I mean, Cam is so naive. She's like, "Oh, here's my card. I'm clean. I've got no diseases. I just had my blood test." And Cam's like, "Oh, okay. Let's go on up." I mean, this guy. That's why you're not coming with me to Thailand, dude. I ain't taking you to Thailand.
You'll get kidnapped. Here's the deal. When you got,
You're
I'm
like-
looking in the
you're
camera.
like,
I'm not talking to you.
Where's Andy? He got
Kidnapped in the women's prison. Who he's really going to get got. Here's the deal. If you have money, you know the people that have the high escorts that go boom, boom, boom.
But they're just grabbing you in the street.
They
though,
have the
dude.
high.
You don't know.
We're not doing that. If you got money, you're calling your old boy, and he's reaching down and picking out
Okay.
who you
He's
want.
like, "I got you."
Yes, these girls
Okay,
are
well,
clean.
let's-
Blah, 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 blah.
It's interesting. You can get cheap suits there that are made, and they got beautiful beaches in Thailand too. And I love Thai food.
So do I.
Oh my god,
Damn good.
My son's named Thai.
I mean, I'll piss out of my ass.
Mhm.
You know, if
No,
you
you
eat too.
won't. No, you won't.
Okay. You don't eat.
My son's name is Thai too. That's another reason.
Thaidomi.
No,
It's Thailand. We have nothing to do with Thailand.
we had Thai food the night before he was born.
Swaying in the wind has nothing to do with Thailand. He's like, my son's name's Thai. Is it T-I-E or T whatever the fuck it is?
T-Y. It's not T-H-A-I.
Yeah, T-H-A-I.
But do you know we had Thai food the night before he was?
Take
Thank you,
that.
Maddie. We had Thai food the night before he was born.
Cool. That's a good story.
So there's a
People
lot
care
of
about that.
Thai connection that's going on as well.
You'd be in jail there.
Oh my
They'd
god.
kidnap you. The women would kidnap you. God. It'd be scary.
Oh my god.
I know. You do need me. You do. But a couple of my buddies are so funny. They're like, we're going to Thailand. I'm like, cool. You gonna get down with it.
Who's going to Thailand?
We're gonna say their name.
Were they going for vacation?
Yeah, him, my
And
buddies.
He's not taking his wife with him. Like
No.
who goes on vacation without their wife?
I don't
dude?
know.
Like that's what Cam's friends do.
I-
They just go on vacation.
I, know,
Now,
I got different sectors of friends.
No, like a golf.
Andy's friends are
a-
Doug Armstrong, Walt, Larry Plow.
Hey, a golf trip is different. Like if you're doing like a boys trip.
I agree. You think Kate's gonna let me go to Thailand?
No.
I can't even go to the
No-
grocery
no-
store
no
without
one,
her.
No
asking.
one does that. Cam can't even go anywhere
Yeah,
without
they do. No,
Kate.
no. Kate's got to be by my side for the most part. You know, and rightfully
What's
so.
that jacket?
Listen, you think
made
Kate's-
of? What's
you-
the material?
You think Kate's
is
going
that
to Vegas?
military?
Think I'm gonna let Kate go to Vegas with her friends? Like, no, she ain't going to Vegas with her friends. Like, she wouldn't even ask to do that. I'm not gonna ask to go to Vegas. With
You
my
guys should go to
buddies.
Vegas with Kate, with Laurie and I.
I don't want to. Vegas doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a gambler.
No,
I don't.
They got great shows and stuff like that.
Don't give a
Unbelievable
But the Blue Man Crew
Yeah.
ain't going.
restaurants.
We got restaurants everywhere, homeboy.
You don't.
You know what I want?
Huh.
What do you think? I want goddamn mountains,
Mhm.
or I want motherfucking ocean, or a badass lake. That's what I want. I don't want a desert to where I have to gamble and spend money on every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Unless I had a ton of money and I'm single, and then you go to Vegas and you do your thing.
I gotta take my new cooler from True Float. I gotta get out on the water here shortly too. Probably go on.
and get harassed again. God, everywhere Andy goes, he gets goddamn harassed. Either by hillbillies, women, something.
That is not.
They
true.
take advantage of him. You need me around more than
Okay.
anything.
First form brings us.
Jesus, that pissed
You
me
can't-
off. Those hillbillies are
Yeah,
not
I
fucking.
know. Well,
that
I
made
know.
me so mad when
But
you told
I
me that
keep,
story.
taking my first
I
form
felt bad
vitamins
for you
every
and
day.
your poor little nieces and stuff
Oh my
that are getting harassed by these goddamn
Yeah.
hillbillies that are 15 years old.
Yeah,
I would have lost my fucking mind.
they weren't 15. They
How
were
old are
like
they?
30.
No, I thought the little girl was
My
like.
niece was, yeah. I thought you meant the people
God, you ruined
harassing
my
us.
No, they were 30.
Yeah.
You're a little 15-year-old,
Yeah.
and they're take your top off, girl.
Yeah.
And you're like, she's 15. They're
Yeah.
like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. What,
Oh,
what'd
God.
you say to me? I'm like, oh my God, I got no phone.
I don't play that game.
I got no phone because I'm on the river.
You got nothing.
I'm like,
You got nothing.
Okay, guys.
And the people you're with ain't gonna do nothing either.
No.
Yeah, you go down.
I said, guys, don't say
If
this.
somebody
Don't
said
say
that
anything.
to like little Chloe or oh God. That's I don't. Ugh, that pisses me off more because I've dealt with that shit, man. I almost got jumped by 30 guys.
Can you pick up my wife from the airport tonight?
No, cheap ass. Like, get her a fucking Uber. Like, sorry. I love you, Lori.
I mean, come on, dude. Ty's got
so
practice at the same time, and
so many stuff.
And I already committed to taking a friend of his.
And he's like,
practice.
I got 3 kids. Your 3 kids didn't just pop up on your front porch like a goddamn bird drops them off and they float down in a fucking parachute. You made love to your wife. At least I hope so. You made love to your wife and you created the 3 kids. So when you say, I got 3 kids, I got blah, 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 that's like me saying I live out in St. Albans, which is 45 minutes away. I can't make it there because I chose to live out there. You chose to have kids, you know? How about I got 3 kids. Pick my wife up from the airport.
Can I one more thing? Yeah. You know who I love?
Can I guess?
I mean, more. Can I guess? Just more and more as the time goes.
Is it a woman?
No, for this particular, we're talking hockey from this particular situation.
Of course, it's always hockey players he loves. He's obsessed with them.
He just kills me. I love this guy.
What team?
I'm not playing that game with you.
Okay, then tell me.
Torts.
Oh God, yeah.
He's
fucking hilarious.
Is he not hilarious on the bench?
I like Cooper too, man. I like every coach.
But Torts is standing right next. He's like, he can't just be the assistant. You know,
no,
like, he's right next to Mike Sullivan, dude. He's standing right next to him, and he's like, he can't go. He can't go. Talk about mad at you. And then when all the fights are going on, he's like, motherfucker,
fucking Cooper, I'll fuck you up. I'll fuck you. I love it so much.
Oh my God, I was like, Torts is ready to go, man. But I mean,
you got to think though, like Cooper and those guys, all the coaches are about as cool as you can get. Every single one of them. But with Coop, like he's probably like, fuck you. But in the end, they're looking at each other. They probably wink at each other and they're laughing. I would say so.
Only thing we're missing is Paul Maurice to like,
I know. Yeah.
To like have press conferences and like.
I just love all the coaches. I love Sullivan. I love Torts. I love Coop. I like them all. I like them all.
John Hines, he's been on our show.
What's up, baby? Goddamn right.
And he was looking forward to this big time.
Yep.
David Quinn's also on the staff. He was on our.
Daniel Day.
He's been on our show.
You know who that is?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, one of the best actors ever. Andy Day.
Yeah. Okay.
Remember I said it to him, and his wife was in the car, and she's like,
yeah.
"Oh my God!"
yeah. Who else was on? Who else is on the Canadian staff?
I don't know.
Messier.
Messier and PK. Didn't say one thing about the U.S. Not one thing.
All right, guys, let's break down the first period. Well, let's look at Canada.
Canada.
Well, Canada had a chance here.
Poutine. Everybody in the U.S. is like,
when I played for Canada.
We're talking about the U.S.
When I represented Canada.
Poutine. What is that?
What do you think of the game so far? Well, I think Canada's looking a little.
Yeah.
It's like, dude.
What about Matthew Tkachuk? Well, Canada
had an answer on the other side.
So funny. You're right.
I thought Hagel did unbelievable to stand in there.
He did, though.
He did.
I'm going to give him a shout out.
He didn't have that many fights either.
No. Hagel, man. He's like, I'll fucking go you. I love that.
And he said, I'm not going to turn
I like that Canadian team, dude. I do. I like both of these teams. You know who I don't like? The Finns and Swedes. They're boring to me right now. Not all the players specifically individually, but as this tournament is panning
That's because the USA and Canada has been so loud.
Well,
we should just,
Russia would have been different.
You know what they should have just had?
Russia would have been different.
You know what they should have just had?
What? US, Canada play
Best
the whole
of 3.
Go.
Best of 3.
I agree.
Like, don't even have Canada. Like, if you're not going to have Russia and you're not going to have Czechia, Slovakia,
Germany.
You're not going to have any of them. Then don't even have Finland. Don't even have Sweden. Let's just have USA, Canada, best of 3.
No. They're boring compared to US and Canada. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They're
you don't need to say it like.
You're the one that just said that you don't even want them in the tournament.
I do, but I don't. I want them in the Olympics. But I want a 2 nations.
2 nations.
We're gonna call it
2 nations.
We're gonna call it the 2 nations.
You're
tournament.
right. I think you're right. They're just boring.
I just don't.
They play pond hockey.
It's too much of an appetizer before the main event.
I'm sorry. Like US can't. They're killing each other. And it's just such a different. That's hockey. Like that's really what the
So
playoff hockey
when
is.
is Reinhardt going to wake up in some of these guys?
Ah, good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these guys. Somebody. Hey, this tournament's far from over. Somebody is going to be become like a storyline here
yeah.
between.
It's going to be somebody we don't even talk about.
Between Matthews, Hughes,
Eichel, maybe.
Eichel. He's had some nice passes.
Who else on Canada that might just do something?
I think they're all just
Sorelli.
like they're all just like holy fuck, guys! Like boys, like the Tkachuks are just fucking. They're like drowning everybody else out. Like nobody can like.
Well, why don't you do something then?
I know.
Why are they drowning you out? Because they're doing things.
Oh my god. I don't think anybody like really cares as much
You ever
as
see
they
like
do.
a parent in a tournament like Ty's drowning everybody out? You're like, well, because he's fucking dominating.
No. I don't think anybody came into this thing caring as much as Matthew and Brady did.
I know.
And I think
their
he's
daddy.
made everyone else care on the American side probably
They
more
love-
than they originally did.
Matthew and Brady love the U.S., dude. It's the bottom line. They love their fucking country.
Well, you know why?
They love it.
That's how people are from this part of the country. You grew up in the Midwest, dude, in like St. Louis, man. It's just like
It is
it's
what
just
it is.
different.
It's like you grew up in Alberta. You love that fucking. You love
you
Canada.
love that. You love that beef.
You love Canada, man. Like,
You love
it
that
is what it
steak,
is.
baby.
I'd like to see Russia fucking. I bet you Russia would.
What do you love when you grew up in Russia?
You love Mother Russia. You damn right you do.
Oh, fucking right.
You do.
I know.
Ask all the Russians.
Okay.
Ask them.
What do you love?
How about Darius Kasparaitis working out goddamn Ovi? Let's get him back on, dude.
Okay. What do you love when you
Yeah.
are from Czechia?
Thailand.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
We might have to go there. I don't know why. I saw these videos. It's like
The lady boys.
they're touching their wee-wees when they're walking by, and they're everywhere. It's
Oh,
like,
my
girl,
God. I
they'll
don't think those
they'll
are
do
men.
things to you. Some of them were.
I'm sure a couple of, but the ones I was seeing were not like.
You don't know.
They're like, la, 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 come here.
You
you
don't
know.
know until you know. You know.
They're grabbing.
Grabbing
It's like
wee-wees.
assault.
You're like, and all of a sudden your wallet's going.
Okay.
All right,
Well, let's not
that's the
have one
bitch
of
of
those
it.
situations.
That's the bitch of it.
Let's not have one of those.
Thailand. Jeez Louise. Anyway, it's all good. What sponsors we got?
Well, first form.
God dang right. I just say I went back to barbecue. I had the cheddar cheese, but then I went back to the barbecue ones because I'm like, these are fucking good too, right here, baby. 20 grams of protein. Makes you horny. All
Have you
good.
tried the
Eat a couple of these in Thailand, you might do some weird things.
Oh
just
my
so you know.
God! Could you imagine walking down the
Imagine
street
you're
after
crushing
having
these, like,
one of those?
blah, blah, blah. He's got a wiener. I don't even care.
And then what
I'm
happens?
horny.
Oh God!
You know, I got energy.
Mm-hmm. All from that. Well, the energy drinks too. This is the
Right-
special
right yonder.
can. This is the special can.
Right yonder.
And dude, you got so many flavors to choose from. All the apparel.
Kate's been making me protein shakes, by the way.
Okay, do something on your own for once. You don't need her to do every.
We don't have
And
kids.
listen, just so you know,
I get taken care
they're
of.
so easy to make. You don't need a wife to make you a protein shake.
I don't need a
mean,
wife
if
to make me an omelet, but
Okay,
she does.
Okay, fine.
But I take care of her.
Okay. I
Like,
don't
let's-
think so. I don't think.
Oh, does she bring the money in? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are
so.
these checks?
Tell it. Most wives probably wouldn't take that.
Well, I wouldn't marry a woman that doesn't want to reciprocate.
Okay.
I do this, she does this.
Okay.
And that's why we have a lovely relationship. And sometimes, like, we have probably a better relationship than most people do.
No kids.
I know. No, well, we decide not to. And he's like, kids that show up on your front porch, like they just happen. No, you have to have sex.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
Well, then.
Just like abortion. How what she has going to well, just don't have unprotected sex, and
Yeah.
you're tell the percentage is going to go crazy.
Are they having protected sex in Thailand? Is that unprotected?
I would say you want to protect that wee wee of yours because
Are they having sex?
what?
Are they having? I mean, that's what they're doing too.
So you telling me these motherfuckers going over, and you see that little thing that wants to do things? You're not going to put your wiener in her? Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah,
Of
no.
course you are.
Would you feel nasty afterwards?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll be eating fucking Z-Packs.
Crushing Z-Packs.
Crushing Z-Packs.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link and send us a screenshot of your order.
There
and
it
we're going
is.
to enter you in a competition for a nice little package.
Hell yeah.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick, man. Use our link. Let us know what you're buying, what you're into, and try everything, man. Try a little bit of everything from First Form. Illinois Recovery Center.
I'll be there tomorrow. It's going to be a
Hey, you were supposed to go
snowstorm.
last week, but you was down.
Because it's a snowstorm.
It wasn't a
Chrissy
snowstorm.
texted
It
me.
wasn't a
At
snowstorm.
all. I could have
So
done
they'll
that.
be wrong again tomorrow.
I could have done.
When's the snow start?
Tomorrow night. It's supposed to be like 7 to 10 inches. That's a lot in St. Louis.
We're not getting that much.
You're going to get rocked. Yeah, I think this is a lot different.
I doubt we will.
Andy, you don't know shit. I pay attention to this stuff, but I'm still going to go out there anyway and just suck it up and deal with it because I want to help them. And I feel like I do when I go there. So I'm going to go to Illinois Recovery Center. It's right there in Swansea, Illinois. Check them out, man. If you got problems, man, painkillers to alcohol to whatever, call them up or call us, text me, whatever. I'll get you a hold of Chrissy, Eric, and Jacob, and they will fucking take care of you. And by the way, follow those guys, Chrissy Pondoff on Instagram and all that, man. He does a little podcast talking with Eric and Jacob, and they talk about their addiction and every people's stuff. It's just really good. Mm-hmm. So it's in Swansea, Illinois. That's the Illinois Recovery Center. I'll see you guys tomorrow there.
See you, boys.
You know,
girls, man. And girls. I make them out there,
right.
too.
Told you I saw that girl was doing meth. She showed me a picture of her when she was on meth.
God.
I go, Andy, she was the cutest thing.
She was?
Yes.
When she was doing meth?
No. She was so cute. And she goes, Cam, you want to see a picture of me when I'm on? I go, yeah. She's been in there for 4 weeks. I go, oh my God.
Look at you.
She looked like a skeleton off of Walking Dead.
Okay.
And then I look at her and I'm like, you're a complete, I know.
Okay. Blue Note Roofing, Cam.
It's my boy right there, baby.
David Novak.
David, how you doing, man? I know it's been crappy weather, so they're probably not doing too much right now.
Well,
it sucks.
But they're getting ready.
Yeah, because it's all
going to rush.
And then the hail's coming, just so all y'all know. I predicted this before, and I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
In another month, we're getting shit on right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same thing coming up in the springtime in Missouri, meaning tornadoes, floods, and hail. So if your fucking roof gets hailed on, man, you call David Novak, you get your fucking thing done, blah, 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 and he will cut that bad boy
fascia,
out.
Gutters.
All that stuff's going to get rocked.
Yeah.
It's going to get
siding,
rocked. Yep.
all of that, man. Insurance will pay for it, too, so make sure you
exactly
take advantage of that.
Yeah, but he'll do the best work for you.
Oh, yeah, and he's covered by all insurance companies. 314-920-5713. 314-920-5713. Hat launch, baby.
Right here. Right yonder. Look at these bad boys. I wore that hat. Mm-hmm. No, I wore the other white one that you gave me on a commercial for Channel 4 with Reload the other day.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I wore that son bitch. Let's go.
You should have worn one that you could see it, though. Through.
You took the one I could see. You have it on now.
Should have asked to borrow it. Hat launch will make you a new one. They'll turn it around. They'll have it for you the same day, probably.
And they'll make a logo or whatever, or they'll tweak your logo, whatever you want. Yep. They'll press it like ding, ding, ding. They got these big machines like me.
Yeah. Every hat tells a story.
Yeah. What's that one tell?
A lot of grinding, a lot of work.
6 years, baby. We've been doing this.
A lot of work.
We've been doing work. We haven't missed one show in 6 years.
No.
Not one. We've had a guest on every single week for 6 years straight.
That's right.
A big guest, and you can look at every single one of them.
That's right.
Maybe we missed 24 hours because of snowstorms and Andy being on whatever or something. But we've never missed a goddamn show for you guys. We love all you, just so you know.
I'm a little worried because one of our guests is coming on this Wednesday, and hopefully we don't get snowed out.
Well, you're a mile away. I'm 46 miles away.
We'll just plan to get out here.
You worry about me.
You plan on getting out. You just make it happen.
Andy's a mile away. He's like, I don't know what I can do. I already came here.
Give yourself plenty of time. Go to hatlaunch.com and say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up?
And Jordan and
everybody. All you guys.
Tyler, everybody.
We love all you guys over there,
shirt
man.
launch too, man. Ask about the shirts.
Goddamn right.
Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks.
Okay.
Fuck around with me.
No, you don't.
Swinging dick.
I could use one of those Denali's though this week.
Oh God.
Or a Wagoneer.
Oh my.
Or a Buick, really.
Yeah. Go get around. A Jeep.
A Jeep Wrangler.
I'll get a Gladiator.
Cam's looking at that pink Jeep, small wheels,
Somebody
soft
send me a
top,
picture of that.
2 doors.
They
did?
Jeep Gladiator, yeah.
They sent you a picture of the Jeep?
I'm like, that's funny.
With flames on the side?
Yes.
Oh, let me see that, because
it's all mixed.
Because Cam's looking at getting one of those. Hey, listen, let me say this too. If there's anybody out there, you own a business and you want to be a part of our team, dude, now is the best time to do it, because we're starting the year off. We got playoffs into the summer with all the current players that jump on with us during the summertime too. Man, we'd love to take your business to the next level if you want to join our team.
Yep. Let us know. Reach out to Andy. Reach out to us. We have
social
media everywhere.
To me.
Reach out to Andy.
You reach out
Sometimes
to Cam. It gets lost in the shuffle.
I get back though.
Cam's like, I don't know. I've been watching YouTube for the last 7 hours.
Oh, I know. Learning things.
Mm-hmm. Say hi to Danny boy.
Danny, what up? I love all you guys.
Kenny.
Dale. Where the fuck is he? Dale, we love all you guys.
Where are they located?
Troy, Missouri. Lovely place.
Rob
Highway 30.
Unbelievable stories coming up with Rayzor.
Here's
Holy
Rayzor,
shit.
baby. Enjoy Rayzor.
Rayzor, baby. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link And do it today. www.firstforum.com/CamandStrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstforum.com/CamandStrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
You're on Live Barn, Red.
Yes. You're on Live Bar now.
What is that thing hanging on the wall?
What do you got? Hey, we just hit record, by the way. What do you got going behind you?
What is that? Is that a moose? Is that a horned sheep? What is that?
The fuck you got
is
going?
that a ram?
That's a wildebeest. There's the little one's a diker, and I got a pig, a bear, deer over here, Nyla, warthog.
Did you wrestle those things and kill them yourself?
We hunt all the time, man.
Yeah.
Go to Africa, go to everywhere. We're in Arizona, mule deer and elk hunting every fall.
What do you do in Africa? Like, what do you want to hunt in Africa?
Trophy hunt.
Yeah, I know. Let him explain it.
But it's not that. It's mostly you ride around the trucks until you see them, and you get out and go chase them and shoot them.
What are you chasing? Like lion and tigers?
No, we don't do lion. That stuff's like major expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Like impalas, warthogs. That's a wildebeest. I got a kudu downstairs.
Do you look at when people do go trophy hunting for lions? Now, there's certain lions that they have to kill anyway in some of their pride where they're all fucked up and they're like, okay, we're gonna give you the ticket to kill this one. Like, is that how that works? Do you look down upon people that kill majestic animals?
No, because I think they have a better control of it now, and they're only taking those ones out that are dangerous to the people, or there's something wrong with them or like that.
Yeah.
So it's controlled. It's you can't. It's hard as heck to go get a license, and it's really expensive to go get one to go shoot something like that. So, yeah, I think they monitor it so much now that, like, even an elephant, you can go shoot some of that stuff with like a tranq gun, and then take your picture with it, and it gets up and takes off again.
Oh, that's got.
You don't use a bow and arrow?
Bow hunt all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything's bow.
That's what I would do.
Yeah,
I don't think you would do anything, Andy, to be completely honest.
I would use a bow. Can we talk about the sticks now? What's going on with all the sticks behind you? Whose sticks are those? Because those are not recent.
Whoa.
I don't see any one pieces.
From guys over the years, everybody I played with, against. I probably got 500 of them here.
What's your prized possession?
I don't know. I got Gretzky. I got Lafleur. Messier. I don't know.
You have your own. Do you have your own stick that you scored your first shift?
First shift of the goddamn game with a snapshot.
I got every stick.
Tom Barrasso. Barrasso probably wanted to kill you.
Barrasso's like, son of a bitch.
I got all three of those sticks that I scored with right here.
All three of them. Never broke them.
Like, how is it for you in Buffalo, man? Like, everybody recognizes you. Do you just walk around like, fuck it, I'm going to do this, high-fiving everybody? Do you have to hide from people?
Well, it's a small town. Like, you go to the rink or something and everybody's talking, you don't get away. You go to dinner. It was hard for my kids when they're younger because you're recognizable that, people, and they don't hesitate. You know what they're like. It's like your mouthful, and it's like, hey, can I get a picture? Yeah, dude, can you just let me chew first? But so it sucked for them, but now they're cool with it.
Mm-hmm. It's like St. Louis, man.
Where you go, you can't go anywhere in this town.
Anywhere.
Not know who the guys are.
Yeah, it's very similar to here. And
Yeah.
listen, I'm from Buffalo originally, so like I get it. Like going back to Buffalo back when I was a kid.
And he was real popular when he was young.
Hey, but you know what? I always felt like the Sabres when I was young, like they were right there with the Bills, and the Bills had their heyday. They went to the Super Bowls and they really took off. Where are we at now? Like, have the Sabres players caught up? Like, is Tage Thompson, is he a star in Buffalo, or is it all about Josh Allen and the Bills right now?
Nah, it's all the Bills. When the Bills are going good, they went for a stretch there, 17 years. They didn't make the playoffs or something. It was kind of iffy then, because there was so much turnover and never really had that foundational player such as Josh. No, Josh he's king shit in this town now and very well deserving. But when the Bills are good, you never hear about the Sabres. And if the Sabres are doing okay, by the time the Bills are done, whenever that may be, then you better be ready to play because all the attention turns to you. And that's kind of been like that since day one being here. So you just come to realize it. You know, you're kind of number 2 on the depth chart and go from there. But no, our guys, like our players, no, there's nobody that is, you know, at that level that, you know, a handful of those guys on the Bills would be at yet. Yeah, everybody knows who they are, but they're not, can't walk outside and get mob type thing.
Yeah, well, they got to win in the playoffs, I think, for that to happen. But, like, when you were playing, would you guys hang out with the Bills? Like, were you and Bruce Smith and Thurman Thomas, like, golfing together?
Yeah.
Ben Hall, Thurman Thomas, you know, Jim Kelly, all those guys, Alex Van Pelt, and, you know, Glenn Parker, all the guys, they all came because they would play obviously Sunday afternoon, we'd play Sunday night. And it was a big thing right from the Bills game to the Sabres game. And it was probably the best night out in town that night. And because everybody had Monday off then. So you kind of just rolled in from one sporting event to the other. And then it turned into a really late night for them.
So, like, at the bar, did fans come up to you and ask you for your autograph? And then, like, a couple of the big boys from the Bills are standing right there. And you look at them like, hey, they didn't recognize you, baby. What's up?
Nah, you know what? I don't care if you're a 4th line guy on our team or, you know, on the practice squad with the Bills. Everybody here knows who these guys are, and it's awesome. You know, everybody talks about it here. There's a lot of great places. This is a great place to play. Like, it is so good, you know, for proximity to everything, for the people, for the way you live. You don't have to have a big home. You don't have to have a fancy car. You don't have to dress nice. You can do anything you want, just any way you want. And that makes it so comfortable and nice to be. Hell, it's like back home. Like, I come from a small farm town. Like, nobody dressed up. Somebody might have threw on a tie to go to church or something on Sunday, but that's just the way it is here too.
Listen, I watched so many of your fights today, and obviously Cam did too. But it's like if you took a kid and you said, "Hey, just watch Rob Ray's like highlight reel for like 30 minutes," they would be like frightened. They'd be like, "Oh my God, this actually happened in hockey!" Like, you've been around the game for so long because you played for a long time, but then obviously now been doing the broadcasting. When did it change? Like, when did you feel like the game was starting to change where the way you and Domi and Twister and all these guys played for all these years, like that just kind of was started to go out the window and it transitioned into what we see today?
Yeah, probably just really heading into that last, that 03 or 04 lockout, whatever it was. And, you know, a lot of teams started coming back a lot cheaper and going with, you know, younger guys. And so that style was turning then. You know, just before that, you were kind of getting the feeling for the last, I think I ended in 04. So probably, you know, 2001, 2, it kind of turned a little bit there. And then it was, instead of have a couple guys in every team, there was one guy in every team. And, you know, you kind of went that way. So it really for me, I think it just kind of started to dwindle out there.
You think so? I mean, shit, early 2000s, like you had Goddard and Orr and Bugard and all these monsters.
Yeah,
like there were still...
It happened for a long time, I don't think. You know, a few years, and then it was, I don't know. I think maybe just that younger generation just handled it differently, and it might not have been as noticeable maybe because they weren't going all the time, and it wasn't an everyday thing. It was like, not saying pick and choose, it was done when they had to do it, you know? So, you know, I don't hear, like after I left, Bolts was around for a little bit, and then Andrew Peters a little bit, and then it was just kind of dwindled away, and that was it. There was nothing else after that. I guess John Scott. But
yeah, he's an all-star.
Yeah, you mean the all-star John Scott Rayzor? Hello.
But don't get me on that one. So,
well, what'd you think of that though? Was that not cool, or like what'd you think of that whole situation? Yeah,
I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I love any time somebody that had to play the way we did, it gets recognized in any way. It's like, I think it's totally awesome because teams don't do it, and they pretend they look down on it so much, or they don't want to emphasize it at all, that, you know, when somebody does get, like last year when Ottawa did Chris Neal, I was like, this is awesome. Because finally there's a team out there that got some balls that are going to, you know, recognize a guy for what he did playing that role. And no other team has really done that. So that was awesome.
Yeah, but Buffalo just did it for you. But, like, the thing is with Neil and with you, like, very few guys who play your style, like hang around with one
God,
organization as long as you both
man.
did. Like that's the difference. These guys, they don't stay with one organization.
No.
Well, if you're any good, nobody, if you're no good, nobody wants you. So you have no choice. You just stay. And I
Come on.
think what they
Get
give
out
you.
of here.
But nah, you know what? I don't know. I think that it was for me in my case. Could you have gone other places? Yeah, along the way there was opportunity, but really, like in my head, this is where I wanted to be when I was done, and no aspirations of doing what I'm doing now. It was just more or less, hey, I'm close to home. I'm 3.5 hours from my hometown. You're kind of established here, so why not just try to stay here? So, you gave up a little bit at that time, but on the back end, you made it tenfold.
Hey, real quick, because talking to Craig Berube over the years, he obviously has left now, but he would say he doesn't even care that there's no fighting in the game. He was kind of over it. And listen, he's in a different situation because he's a head coach and he's got other stuff to wear. He needs his best players, highest paid players to like score and obviously help him win. I don't know how many run-ins I imagine you guys had a ton of run-ins, when you were playing against each other, but do you feel the same way, or would you like to see more fighting in the game today?
You know what? I think that, okay, Craig's in a position now. He's kind of got to say certain things, but in the back of his head, if he saw a fight every night, he would still be pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
And he would. I think the big thing we kind of lose focus on is, bottom line, it's an entertainment business.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, it was all turned to stats and wins and losses and all this kind of crap that we had nights, man, when we weren't very good, and Teddy Nolan was our coach, and whomever we'd play, and it'd be fight fest. It would be entertaining. People didn't care if we won. They came to the game. They were entertained for their 3 hours. They went home, and they couldn't wait to the next one to come back. But I think we miss out on that a little bit. And bottom line is, how exciting is it some nights to go watch a 2-1 game, or watch somebody on 3 or 4 power plays in a game? That's not entertaining. Entertaining is playing the game the way it was invented to be played, and I think that's kind of a thing that we're missing out on a little bit as a league, and maybe starting with the league a little bit. That they'll never take it out because they know there's that entertainment value, but don't look down on it so much. And I think there's more teams starting to maybe figure it out, that maybe having a guy like that around is a little more helpful than not. So I think more teams that think about that, maybe we can kind of turn the corner a little bit and get a little more.
Well, you certainly have to be able to play. But
Yeah.
even back in the day, like if you're down by 5 and there's 5 minutes to go, I'm not changing the channel.
Nope.
Shit's going down. Let's go. Now it's like, no, they're just going to wait it out. They're going to ice the puck. So no, there's a big difference. People would stay to the very end of the game because they knew shit was going down.
Like in a playoff game, if you're down in that, man, it was craziness. It was totally over, but it kind of built that atmosphere and that hate and everything for the next game. So it made that next game even more. Oh, I got to see this one. I got to see this one. What's going to happen? But you don't have that now. Mm-hmm. And I think you lose out on that a little bit.
Listen, we had Chris Neal on, who you mentioned the other day, and we just a few minutes ago, and we just dropped Matthew Olivier today, and we were interested to talk to him because he's gotten a lot of people's attention. That's what happens when you fight nowadays. Everyone pays attention to you. It's like Matt Rempe. Like, doesn't matter what else he does, but he's fighting, so he's become a household name in the NHL. Whose game of the tough guys today? Who do you enjoy watching the most, and whose game could translate to your era, that could handle themselves on the ice in your era if they had to fight every single night?
I don't think there's a ton of those kind of guys. Like, how many do we have in the league? Reeves, Rempe,
Delorier, Olivier, McDermott. There's some guys.
Olivier. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of guys. And there's some guys that think they're a little maybe tougher than they are, and you watch and you give them the benefit of the doubt, and over a 5-fight span they throw 5 punches, and it's different then. It was different. Those guys, when you grabbed onto one of those guys back then, you knew it was going to be a 2 or 3 minute affair, and there's going to be a million punches thrown, and you're going to be dead tired at the end of it, because it was just the longer they go, some of those guys, the better they got. And now it's, that they get in tight. They're not, getting out and allowing punches to be thrown. They're just kind of little rabbit punches a lot of time. So totally different style of fighting. Like, I just don't know if there's only a handful of them that Olivier kid, he could play. He would have had no problem back
10
then,
goals.
man, and he would have been good. I wouldn't mind playing with that kid. I seen him fight for the first time the other day, fought Gilbert here.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Like a lot of those guys that get in fights and they have no idea what they're doing. This kid was thinking his way through this fight as well.
We had him on the next day, actually, the day after that fight. And his dad played in the minors and stuff like that, so he grew up around it.
Well, I was going to ask you, though, like, you look at a Ryan Reeves, who's been doing his thing for a long, long time. Took my job in St. Louis. All good. No big deal. Still love the guy. But, like, you in your prime against him in his prime, like, if you're thinking about that when you know you had to fight a Ryan Reeves, like, are you like, I'm just going to fucking go toe-to-toe, baby, and I'm going to throw down on him? Or would you be a little concerned? Maybe he's going to grab me this way? Like, what would your mindset be if you had to fight Ryan Reeves in your prime, in his prime?
I would grab onto him, let him throw a couple right off the hop there, get himself all over, and then start poking away. A lot of those big guys, they want to come in, they want to overpower you, and they want to show. Just sit back, be able to take a couple, just let them, and then once they get going, they start opening themselves up, and that's when you start going at them, and then you just keep going at them and don't let them back off. But I don't think Ryan Reeves would have had too much problem back then. I think he would have been fine because he's got the right attitude towards it, and he likes it, obviously, by the sounds of it. But he wouldn't be walking around quite as proud and tall maybe then as he is now, because that every night you were going to have to I'd like to see him play at a time when he knew he was going to have to fight every other night, and see can guys stay healthy doing that? Can they get keep having that desire to go do it every night? I think that's the big difference. When you're like, what the hell, he's got a couple fights all year. You imagine being in a role and only having to fight twice a year? The best 2 fights you're ever going to see, if I knew that's all was going to have to happen.
I bet you if you sat down with him, he would agree with you too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he knows that.
Yeah.
Like, there's not that. It's just the way the game is today. Did you fight a lot as a kid, like off the ice, on the playground? Like, were you an angry kid? Like, how did you fall in love with fighting?
Mom and dad tough?
My sister was a year older than I am, and she kicked the shit out of me every day. And I think that was probably the only fights I ever got in as a kid. But I can remember my first hockey fight, and like when I played when younger, I had this points machine, man. I was like, you never came off the ice. That was your game. But I was 15 years old. I went to Trenton for a junior B tryout, and this guy, I still see him back home a little bit sometimes. And he's just a little scrawny little piece of, and that was my first fight. And we got in a fight, and I kind of, when we came down, he picked me up from the back of my pants and the back of my shirt, throws me headfirst into the boards after I'm done. I go home that night to my old man. I'm like, hey, this is what happened. And it was like, well, boy, you got to kind of figure this out. You got to fend for you. So from that point on, but when we played, everybody fought. It didn't matter if you were the star player on the team or fourth line guy. That's just the game. That's the game we played. So you had it coming up, growing up. So, in junior, maybe, I don't know, 15 fights a year or more. And then when I got to the American League, I went to Roch, and John Van Boxmeer was like, well, this is what they want. This is what they need. They think you might be able to do it. Are you willing to do it? And I'm like, hell yeah. I was 19 years old, 20 years old. And I'm like, just teach me. And probably the wrong guy to teach me, because he probably hasn't been in a fight in his life, but he allowed you to play that game, do what you had to do, and learn it. And at the time, I had Scott Metcalf and Kevin Kerr there, and they were both nut bars as well. And we lived together, and we played on a line together. I think I had 46 fighting majors that year, 440 some minutes in poundies, but got a chance to play the next year. So to fight growing up, no. Fought at 20 years old, kind of learned the program and went from there.
What'd your mom and dad think? Like, we all went through it. Anybody that's been in that role, you talk to your parents. Like, I'd call my dad before every game. I could talk to them right afterwards. And like, were they okay with it? Were they stressed out when they're watching you on TV going fucking toe to toe? Like, explain what they were going through. My dad had never really bothered him, because I'd go up to him after the game and he'd be like, how'd you make out? I'm like, what do you mean, how'd I make out? You were watching the game. I got talking to people, and I really, but I was like,
watches everything. And I remember one time in junior, I played in Cornwall, and when Belleville was like 20 minutes from my hometown, and we'd play Belleville, and it was all those big guys. Like they had a tough ass team, and we're in the playoffs. We're playing them, and my mom was standing up behind, and some guy comes running up and suckers her and takes off. And from that point on, my mom was like, not only emotionally invested, she was physically invested, man. It was like, look out, here we go. But now they just kind of accepted it. They know, that was part of it. And at that time, everybody did it. So it wasn't as if I was doing something, foreign to everybody. But it was hard at times, I would think, for them. Drive to Buffalo to watch a game, and your last 10 seconds, you're kicked out. And, hey, hi, guys, how you doing? I thought I just... But yeah, whatever. But no fight. I've never been a fight off the ice in my life.
Really?
No.
Wow. Good for you, man. That's good.
And I listen to the Twister and those guys tell stories. I'm like, how are you guys not in jail? That's
they could be.
Should be.
Yeah.
I know they
went
talk
through
about
some
some of
shit.
it, but you just assume
Yeah,
because like the way you fought, because you could tell you enjoyed it, man. You got the crowd involved after the fight, the jerseys off. I mean, they had to change the rule because of you and all that. So was that by design? Like when did they first come to you and say, "Hey, listen, we're gonna change the rule, man. You got to tie that jersey down"? Like, were you getting penalized for that back then, or was completely allowed back then?
Well, we came through, what was I drafted in 88, so 89, 90, 91, all that kind of right in that area. There was so much experimenting going on with the jersey, and, whether it was spraying stuff on your arm so you couldn't hang on, or Velcro up inside your arm. And when you grabbed on it, it just kind of opened up, just trying to give you the advantage. So there was so many crazy things going on at the time. We had a trainer here, Jim Pizzatelli, we used to call him the fight doctor. And he's the one that got me screwed on Tony. Anyways, we would try stuff. We would try. And I could never liked anything tight on me. So I never wore a t-shirt. I just had my shoulder pads on, and I wore a goalie cut jersey because I liked it loose. So over time, I started cutting the straps off my shoulder pads, just having them sit on. They were hooked in with Velcro, the extra large jersey. So that's kind of what that had to them. Then when you had to stop, I found we tie down on the back, but the tie down would still allow the jersey to come up over your head. So I put the snap on the back right above the tie down, and put a snap on my pants. So clip them together. And then I put it on the front as well. So I had a clip on the front and the back, so you couldn't lift it up either way. So, and there was one fight when I had it on the back and I didn't have it on the front, and it was when we were trying to figure it out and tie the little prick.
Yes.
Jersey up. Got my arm, my head was in my arm like this, and I couldn't swing. I could see the little prick through my jersey, and I'm like, he's laughing. And I'm like, I went in the room and I kicked the crap out of the trainer, and then we figured it out. But yeah, just trial and error, man. You had to try that stuff, and it was great that you had people around you that were willing to do that little extra to sew the stuff in, try it. If it didn't work, switch it in between. So it helped.
Did any guys, because you had a knockout fest to where it would come off and you would fucking knock some of these guys out. Did they ever go to you afterwards or in the penalty box and say, you got your goddamn jersey undone, that's why you caught me? Like, would they bitch about it?
Non-stop. You know who cried like a little baby too? This Chaser one night in Hartford, because it came off, and then eventually he was getting it, and he's like, and then he took his off, and he goes, look, I can do it too. And he, with chubby little body, had his little t-shirt on there, and I was just laughing my ass off at him. But yeah, no, guys would be pissed. They would be pissed when it came off. They would be so mad. And they're, as far as saying, that's against the rules, that's against code, that's against this. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, I'm out here surviving, dude. I'm smaller than all you guys. Like, Ty and I are probably the two smallest guys to do that job. There was guys you're looking at their friggin' chests that were so big. So you had to get an advantage.
So who gave you the most trouble of all the guys in terms of guys you had to fight because of their length and their size? And
tall guys like Brashear, guys like that, big lanky guys. The guy that used to be in Florida too, but they had long arms.
Worrell or Peter Well.
they just hang you out, and you'd swing and swing and swing, and you're just going by their face. So you had to get them up against the glass. So I figured it out. You got the tall guy, you get him up against the glass, then he's got to bend his arms. So you get in tight on him on the glass and then start going up at him, because then he couldn't hold you out. So you just kind of figure that out, that if you get them against the wall at some point, then their arms bend, and then you can get inside on them a little bit.
Okay. You're going every other goddamn night.
Yeah.
Like, your body's fucked up. Your hands must be so fucked up. Like, were there any nights where you're like, I have 2 guys I got to deal with. My hand, I came and put my hand in my glove. My body's fucked up. Like, did you take pills? Were you just suck it up? Like, none of that shit? Like, were you, good for you, man.
Nothing. And you know what? I got hurt. Well, the only time I got hurt was with Tony. And he hit me in my right eye on the outside, and the pressure of it put a broken orbital bone up in here. And my side of my face filled full of air. And it was like 9 days for that fucking air to get filtered out. But that was the only time I got hurt in a fight. I fought Stu Grimson one night in Anaheim, and the next night we're playing in LA, and go for warm up, and I couldn't turn left. Every time I turned left, I'd fall. I could turn right, no problem. Couldn't turn left. So Mux is there, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll just play on right wing then. You don't have to fucking turn. Just say it." But that, that's the way that was. But no, I never got hurt. Like, I never got a concussion from a fight. I never got knocked out, never lost a tooth. I think I broke my nose once early in the minors, and that was it. So, but there was guys that you fought that you were more careful with. There was guys you could go fight and just know you're going to throw punches, throw and throw and throw. And then there was guys like Joe Kosher, say. You didn't let Joe Kosher just tee up and start hitting you. Your head would be, 6 feet away. And so you had to fight a lot differently with a guy like that, because he hit so hard. So other than that, most guys that you fought were pretty similar. I was more uncomfortable just standing in and throw them and just roll the dice and see what happens. And, most of the time it was okay. Sometimes you got stung the odd time, but never got hurt.
So Koser, he had the hardest punch.
Hardest punch I found ever.
More than Twister?
Well, Twister only hit me a couple times. I had Kosher hit me. I fought him probably 5 or 6 times. But I fought Twister once, and I figured that's enough. Never again.
So that was the only time you fought Twister. And what happened in that fight? He just caught you, or was your arms?
No, well, it started. Jim Pizzatelli, our trainer, the loudmouth, goes into third dress. And he's at Twister, and he's going, "Hey, Twister, Rayzor's coming at you, man. He's coming at you." And Twister's like, "Why the fuck is he coming at me?" Because we play each other once a year. And he goes, "He's fucking coming." And all of a sudden, I'm out there, and the fucking going out, line up, and Twister comes flying out and just all fired up. And he's like, "Whoa, why do you gotta go?" And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about, man?" Fucking puck drops, bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, "Fucking get me out of here." I had blood in my nose, and I went to blow my nose, and the air didn't come out my nose. It went through that hole, and that's where my whole side of my face filled up. So it wasn't him and I pissed at each other. It wasn't him and I trying to do something in the game. It was our dumbass trainer got it stirred up, and then he was after. He's going, I couldn't understand why he was saying you're going to come after me. And I'm like, I wasn't. But me, man. So whatever, it was fine.
Let the big boys sleep sometimes,
Just let him be.
Hey, I'll tell you though, Rick Jaronet, this listening to your fights, I don't even have to watch the damn thing. I could listen to him. He was so emotional. He was unbelievable. Even as a kid in the 90s, Andy and I are 90s kids, man. Listening to these fights of yours. When you fought Viel, and everybody's like fucking, they're all the Brad Mays over there. Everybody's like looking at each other. You're like, "Oh, let's go." And you and Viel went blop, 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 and you catch him right at the end. And you're coming off the ice, literally high-fiving everybody. And he goes, "Bring on Tyson." Do you ever go back and have some wine and listen to that and just fucking cry and laugh at the same time? Come on.
You know what it was like back then. You couldn't go in and just watch it on TV. You had to wait till the coaches got the VHS tape so you could shove it back in and rewind it. But guys couldn't wait to get in after games, whether it was a fight, whether it was a goal or something, just to see how he made it sound, because he made a lot of shitty goals and shitty fights sound like it was the main event. But he always had something, and he never You know what's cool about him? He never planned stuff. He goes, it just comes to me. He said, I get in that moment and it just pops in my head and I just let it roll. So, yeah, he'd go into a game and he did games. I did them for years with him and he'd have the lineup card. That's all he'd have. Nothing else. Like nothing else, this guy. But he was just amazing how he made Brad May a multi-millionaire just by Mayday goal.
Yes.
I know. Well, it's a great call, and it was a hell of a goal.
It's a great goal.
So,
Oh yeah, but you know what? The call, the name, all that kind of
Yes.
it just escalated his career to the next level, and he did that for a lot of guys though.
oh yeah, I would imagine for fighters. I mean, to have a guy like that calling your fights is just. I mean, well, that's an honor. To be able to have a guy like that be the voice track of all your fights. What's the worst prank you ever pulled on? I talked to some of your former teammates, so I'm curious what you're gonna say.
I love doing that stuff because a lot of the nights you didn't play a whole lot. I don't know. One I did on Rhett Warner one time, where we went to dinner here in town, and it was him and I, and you go to one of those Japanese chop it up in front of you stuff. So everybody's sitting at the table. When it's all said and done, we never even talked to these people. And he was just like started collecting all their tickets. And so that I was going to pay for the whole table. And I didn't even know who the people are. No big deal. I did it. So a few days later, we're in Philadelphia and we're not playing. I wasn't playing. And I went and got his credit card. I had the Cabela's magazine. I went and ordered about $2,000 worth of Cabela's stuff and put it on his credit card. Kind of just forgot about it. It was a few days later. We're sitting at the house here, and all of a sudden the door rings. It's a delivery guy, and he's bringing in all this Cabela's boxes, and it's like got Rhett Warner's name on it. And it was all the stuff that I ordered for fishing and hunting and that Rhett had kind of paid for and didn't realize it. So I just said, hey, dude, don't screw around. I don't know. There's guys that, cutting arms off suits. I remember Matthew Barnaby coming up and so proud he had a brand new suit, and it was kind of a cut the arms off and tear the legs out of him or something like that. So they just stupid stuff.
What's the X-Lax story?
Oh, the X-Lax. Oh my God. It was Gordie Donnelly and I in Hartford, and Brad May was the king of cheesecake, man. And if it had chocolate on it, he would like lick the plate to get every last piece of chocolate. So we're like, let's get this kid. So we got the bar of X-Lax. We go into the kitchen at the hotel, at the restaurant we're at. We tell the guy, just need a cheese grater, blah, blah, blah. They were cool with it. Put it all over it. We put the whole bar. Oh. And like, how much should we put on? We're like, I don't know. Fuck it. Let's just put the whole thing on. It can't be that bad. Put this whole bar of X-Lax on. His cheesecake, he goes out, eats the whole thing. And like he was going to die like the next day. And he couldn't even play. And Mux is so pissed off at him. And he's like in the corner of the dressing room, all curled up in a little ball. And he's dehydrated. He's puking. He's shitting. And he just threatening to send him to the minors. And Gordy and I are looking at each other going, maybe the kid's dying. Maybe we should tell them what, we didn't know how severe it was. He kind of scared us so bad. Told him what happened. Mux benched us for a few days. We didn't play. We got a good laugh out of it. And amazing, we got one up on him.
Yeah, but like if somebody did that to you, okay, no, like you'd kill him, and don't act like you wouldn't.
Well, I would.
You'd kill him.
Okay.
You're gonna miss a game because you're shitting your fucking brains out because some guy Are you kidding?
On your cheesecake.
On your cheesecake, Rayzor, you'd lose your mind.
This poor guy, we thought he was gonna die, and that's the only, we didn't even need to say anything because nobody else knew other than him and I. But God. We felt so bad, and we thought that he needed medical attention. So we were like, hey, this is what happened. It's like, no.
Hey, I love the highlights where you're scoring a goal and you're on the ice with like Turgeon and Mogilny. Was that like the line, or was it like a line change? You jumped on? Like, I mean,
good enough to play with those guys?
I think you are.
You out of your mind?
I think you are. I think they should be honored to play with you, to be honest with you.
You know what? It periodically you did. You know what? Like Duds would always give you a chance to play with those guys sometimes. Rick Dudley, Mux would do the same thing. I remember Nuds one night in the back of the plane. He always sat at the back, we sat at the front, and he started calling guys back. It was my turn. He's like, "Who do you want to play with?" And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Who do you want to play with?" And I go, "The only in LaFontaine."
Yeah, baby.
get the fuck out of here. And I went back up and sat down. Next night, I'm playing with McGillney and LaFontaine. I'm like, son of a bitch, I should have done this a long time ago. It didn't last the whole game, but at least I got a chance to try it.
Mm-hmm.
Was Almo cool? I played with him in Jersey, and he was the nicest guy in the world. Was he a good guy? He went through a lot of shit.
Oh yeah, if you do that, look at that whole story about him coming over and what he went through, and actually Kenny Sutton and I were with him the day that the guy came in to threaten to stab him in his legs if he didn't, and everything, and we had to go to court and everything and testify and all that shit with him. It was pretty scary what the guy did, but the year Alex was drafted, Sabres had 2 picks in the 5th round, and they took Alex first, then me. And we're the only 2 out of that whole draft that ended up playing. And so it was good. You had that connection with him. But, man, that story of that journey was pretty amazing.
How come why have we had some guys who have come on who you play with who just do not like Dominik Hasek? Like, did you get along with Dominik Hasek? Was he that different, that hard to get along with? I mean, obviously you appreciated what he did on the ice because he was fucking unbelievable. But what did you think of him as a person?
Dom like Dom, and it was kind of like you had to just deal with it. I found over the years that so many different personalities that it didn't matter who it was, you could figure a way to, to get along with them. Did you respect everything he did all the time? No, because you had to. I don't know. We always had the saying, okay, whose turn is it to look at from this trip type thing, and a lot of the times things would happen and you'd have to go out of your way to make sure something got better or fixed or something like that. And there was never a, hey man, thank you for that type thing. And that's the part that kind of gets you a little bit. And it wasn't just periodically, it was quite often. So that was the part I think that pissed a lot of guys off, that he just expected it and just figured he could do whatever he wanted and somebody was going to fix it for him, and then not at least say, hey, thanks. I think that's probably the biggest thing.
What kind of stuff? So like we have to look after him. Like what? Is he partying all night? Is he not finding his room at night? Like what?
Yeah, if that's all it was something like that.
Okay, I get you
a little bit.
I don't know if it was Ted Nolan or Brad May. Somebody would like.
We've had them both.
He kind of like made. I don't want to say made up, but he said his knee was hurt. Kind of pulled the chute. I think that some of that shit went on too, right?
I think that one year, I think it was the '99 maybe when he did it in Ottawa, and then I think he did it again against Toronto in the first 2 games in Toronto, and Dwayne Rolson had to go in and play, and he won the first one, and. Hey, look, Dom's different now than what he was. He's a lot more mature and grown up now. We all are, I think. Most of us, some of us. But, yeah, I think he just kind of sometimes it wasn't 100% dependable, and you just never knew, and kind of put you in tough spots at times that some guys didn't appreciate. But then others, we just kind of okay, it's happening again. Let's just take care of it.
Put him in bed. Put him to bed. Shut the door.
What's it like doing the games and broadcasting and all that? I know sometimes you've got to get frustrated, man. I mean, and maybe you bite your tongue. I mean, the team is, you guys have missed the playoffs so many years in a row.
Yeah.
Like, what's your take on it? Everyone seems to have an opinion on it.
Yeah.
How frustrating has this been for you being in your position, man? You just want to see this team get over the hump. How tough has it been from your, position?
Well, because this team is your life, it's your life. You want to see it succeed. And, trust me, I don't mind being done in April, not having to work again till October. Trust me, it's not always a bad thing, but no, you want to see them have success, and it's just been tough. I think there's some bad luck along the way, kind of maybe decisions along the way from people who were in charge. They, didn't come through the way, you thought maybe they would. You've had a lot of top picks, but top picks by all different people. So that plan keeps getting changed all the time, and, who you're going to try to keep around. I don't know, man. It's just some nights you feel bad for the kids sometimes because they're maybe, they need the extra help. They need the extra leadership, whatever it may be. And then, there's other times it's like, well, somebody is responsible. So who is it? Is it the players? You've had a ton of coaches, GMs and everything. So, what do you do? I don't know. If you knew the answer, trust me, I'd be banging the door down telling them, but Yeah, I don't know. It is frustrating at some nights, and but you feel bad at nights too.
But look at all the great players who are playing elsewhere. I mean, you got this Reinhardt. I'm watching him the other night, like for Florida. He's unbelievable. Eichel is like back playing at a world-class level. Like
those guys, we had them young.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, it takes a few years for them to maybe mature and realize, what the things they got to do. And some of those guys, when they were young here, they weren't listening to anybody. They were doing their own thing. And whether you had Ryan O'Reilly there or whomever you may have, there's no way they were listening. There was their thing. And now I bet you if you went to them, they'd be like, probably should have done it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But, fortunately for them, when they leave, they get put into a situation where there is great leadership and they got to listen to them and they're not the big dog anymore. And you got to earn your way up. So, yeah, a lot of guys have had success when they've left, but I think a lot of those guys were so young when they got here because we're a team that you were forcing guys or putting guys in younger just because of the situation on the trying to build a team that, maybe not ready for everything that they got.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, I bet you some people didn't feel like Tage Thompson would get to the level that he's at right now, just in terms of, when he was here in St. Louis, although you could see him shoot the puck, the puck came off his stick differently than everybody else, even in prospect camps. Yeah. You're like, holy, this guy's unbelievable. Really and you talk to some of the kids that he played with at the program, they're like, hey, man, this guy's he's got the ability to be a star. But a guy like Reinhardt, did you see him evolving into this level of a goal? Like, did you see that? But I mean, everyone knew Eichel was, had the star potential. There was a lot of hype, and he was a phenom before he got to the NHL. Reinhardt was a high pick, but did you see him turning into a 50-goal scorer?
No, I don't think I ever would have saw that. Because Sam was not the fastest guy in the world. Good shot, but a little bit of time to release it sometimes when he was younger. Not going to get pucks along the wall. All the little things that he probably does now, and he does it so much better. And I think a lot of it has to do maybe with the guys he's around. It's kind of pushed him to get better. But even at the time, maybe when he was here, did he push himself the way he might have needed to or should have at the time? I don't know. But I think now he is, and he understands it now more. And, Florida's benefiting from it. But no, I don't think a lot of those guys you can project that they were going to be and do what they did. No, I guess sometimes you just didn't think they had it inside them to be able to go do it. I think they wanted to do it and thought they were doing it. But you question maybe did they have it inside them a little bit enough to be able to be that player. But, Sam's one of those guys, obviously proved everybody wrong, and he's done a hell of a job. And he's just different people now too. You speak to him when they were here and then speak to him now, totally different, totally different people. Jack the same way, looks at things, talks about things totally different than what he did here, different priorities, all that kind of thing that, it sucked that you got him maybe at the time we did. Instead of getting him first, you wanted to get them second instead and benefit from them.
Hey, let me ask you though, the other night, I mean, you're getting honored. You got Brad May, you got Barney, like everybody's like talking about you being honored. And Tage Thompson gets rocked. He gets rocked, man. And I know you played it cool on the broadcast, but what was your emotion throughout that whole?
What were you really thinking?
What were you really thinking?
You know, play the video back and have you redo the call.
And we pumped your fucking tires up too. We did a little thing on it. What were you thinking?
And when I first started doing this job, I would say stuff during games. I'm like, this would be a good time. Maybe somebody get into it. This would be a good time to get things stirred up. Kind of in that. And then I'm like, after a few years, I'm sitting there and I'm going, why am I saying it? Like, these kids are different. They're wired different. What we are, they're programmed different. They've never had to do this. Us coming up through, we did it. Everybody did it. So it's there. You've been there before. Every one of these kids now, whether you're on the first line or the fourth line in the NHL, you're star players on a team somewhere along the line. That if something happened, that was somebody else's job. Or if it never happened, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to read and react that. They don't know, hey, at that time, bang, flip the switch, go get them type thing, or at least do something about it. They're not the hockey's totally different now. You can't fight in junior anymore. I went to a Western League game the other day when we were in Edmonton. I saw 5 hits. I remember the West used to be the toughest place in the world to play as a junior hockey. Quebec League, you can't fight anymore. So these guys are not learning all this stuff at the times when they should. And then all of a sudden stepping into our game and they're getting killed by people because they don't know when to step in. If somebody goes there, they might know when, but they don't know how to address it. They don't know how to go do it. Like, what are they going to do? Most of these guys have probably never been in a fight in their life. And some of them escape to death that they don't know what they're doing and they're going to get hurt or something. Are they going to go over and chew somebody's ankle or something? It's like,
sure.
I just don't, yeah, but I just don't get that. I know I'm the same way. Trust me, I'd love to see it. And I'd love to see the benches cleared. But I just, in my head, I'm like, they have no idea. A coach isn't going to send a player out anymore. Coach isn't going to say they're going to go get that prick for, and go. It's not happening anymore. That's just not the way the game is. So to sit and want it, heck yeah. But on the other hand, they have no idea. Like, they don't know.
I just feel like it should be like a natural reaction, no matter if you played sports or not.
And you do see it, like, even with like clean hits, that's really the only time you see fights nowadays anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, all of a sudden there's like a fight after a clean hit, which people complain about that, right?
Yeah.
When it's a clean hit.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the hit was dirty?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Like there was like no suspension. It was like what am I watching that there was no suspension?
I know.
Like, how is there no...
Get a match penalty in the game, but you can't get a suspension or a fine after the fact.
Yeah. I know. I don't know if the players should say we didn't see it and whatever, because obviously you had a lot of alumni come out and give their opinion. Lindy Ruff couldn't have been happy about it. You hear about the closed door meetings, and then there's a fight right off the draw in the following game.
Poor Gilbert.
That I think that's where it just some people, and it's your best player. Like, he's lying flat on the ice. Even in today's game, Rayzor, I agree with you, but like even in today's game, typically you see some type of response after a hit like that. So that's why I think people were caught off guard.
Hey, I you know what, and you're right. But I want to hope that I can believe these guys, and now they're like, okay, it's not going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd almost like to see this test them to see if it did.
Yeah.
See. But,
well, and what we were saying is, you're a legend.
No shit.
And you, I mean, of all people, you just get recognized. You got all your teammates there and whatever who were there. I don't know if it was the same game or the game before that, and whatever.
Doesn't matter.
It just happened. All the players are seeing that, and so the fact that it was so close together, I think that's where it's like, geez, man, that's where we're at, with Buffalo. But I do see some things turning the corner though with the Sabres. I feel like you guys have some legit players, and when you're on your game, man, I've seen it head to head against St. Louis this year. You guys have beaten the Blues twice, I think, in the 2 games. Like, you've got some really good players. Like, when you're playing good, at your level that you should, you got a good team there.
Yeah, they're a team that wants to play fast. They got some shooters. A young guy like Kulik has really had a good year. Luukkonen's been fine on the back end. Dahlin and Bo Byram's been awesome for us. So, we got a lot of guys that if they can keep them all together, they'll be okay. And obviously there's things that have to be changed, and they will change, but you got a little deeper, you got third, fourth line now that can go and bang around a little bit and, kind of cause a little disturbance that way. But, you're not quite as soft as you were in the past to play against at times. So you got a little more of that, but yeah, I think it's a team. They're young guys, but the young guys have got a lot of experience, and it's time, some guys take a step. So, but hey, who knows?
We're rooting for you, man.
I know it's a tough spot.
We're rooting for you.
Rest of the year, I don't know.
Yeah,
I know.
Hey, listen, it's not your job to answer why, because I can see it. Like it's tough. Hey, I will ask you this though, because Matthew Barnaby, we've had him on too. I love how you mentioned him in your speech.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, he's had so much. He's had opportunities, right, since his playing career to do some stuff, and he's got a lot of ability. You know what I mean? Like, what was it about him that had you point him out specifically? Because I'm glad you did.
Yeah, me too.
But Barney and I lived together when he came here. He was a guy that, I can remember the first time he showed up here, and Mux was like, "Hey, we got this kid coming in. Just leave him alone. Just let him do his thing and let him play." I'm like, "Who is it?" His name's Killer Barnaby. And I'm like, Killer Barnaby? Yeah, he's from the Quebec League. And I go, fuck, okay, Quebec League, awesome. And, very first time we're on the ice together, he's running around and he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight. I'm like, I'm looking up in the stands, and Muck's like shaking his head no. And I'm like, finally, I'm like, screw this. We went at it. We get in a fight. And then he's dumb enough to come over. His gloves and stick were laying at my feet. He comes over to pick them up. And as soon as he bent over to pick all this stuff up, I give him uppercut and hit him and then send him flying. But we got to be good friends, you know, like, and I know that, you know, I love Barney. Barney was always there. He was always that shit disturber. And, you know, you go out and clean up, but he was a friend. He was a loyal friend and he was a good guy, you know, and you just, the things he says, sometimes you just shake your head and it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe you. Like he gives my daughter's boyfriend that night. He goes, hey, look, don't do anything stupid. The kid's like, okay. And he's like 21, the kid. He says, because Rayzor beat you up, Maisie will kill you, and I'll rape you. And the kid is like, I'm in the truck, right? Driving home. He's telling me the story and I adjust the mirror. So he's sitting in the back seat. I adjust the mirror so I can look in his eyes. And I said to him, I said, you want to know about that? And he goes, what? I go, he's telling the truth. He's not lying.
That's why we love him. That's why we love him.
Hey.
Awesome. I'm telling you,
He's
like,
fucking
I know
fun, man.
Barney's Barney, but I'll tell you, I love him. And
Fuck
people
yeah.
here love the guy.
Fuck yeah.
It's loved in this town.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you though. So we talked to Domi about this too. Remember Domi had that fuck dipshit fall into the penalty box?
Yeah.
And he barely even touched him. Domi got sued. Ty told he got sued for years. No one even helped him. He got sued for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When you beat the fuck out of that guy that came on and he came right to the bench and you're just like, I'm going to tee off on you. Like, what happened with that? Did you get sued?
Did he go to jail?
Was he a Buffalo Sabres fan? Like, who the fuck was this
It was
guy?
in Quebec, wasn't it?
And and Herb Raglan had hit Clint Malarchuk. So there's a 5-on-5 on the ice. And we're all watching. All of a sudden you look up and this guy had climbed on the glass behind our bench. Right? And we're looking, we're like, what? Mux goes, give me a stick, I'll get him. So I got a picture of Mux going to hit the guy to knock him back into the stance. Just then he jumps into the bench. And we grab on him, threw him onto the ice, thinking it's over. He jumps up off the ice, comes running right back at the bench again, and that's when I got him and hit him. Next thing you know, the cops are out there jumping on him. You know, they get him all tied up and get him off, and there's bullets laying all over the ice and all this. He's screaming in the hallway in the background. You look down on the Quebec bench, and they're like, what the hell is going on over there? And that was it. But come to find out, the guy was protesting the violence in sports. So it's like, okay, dude, that's how you protested the violence in sports, is jumping into a bench and going from there. But I never got sued from it. I never got in trouble from the league. I got nothing.
Really?
Penalty. I never got nothing.
Good. That's like a dream come true.
Were you hitting him hard?
The ice and then clean the bullets and all that. I'm laying on the ice and it was like, drop the puck. Let's keep going.
What do you mean there's bullets on the
The
ice?
cops' bullets, probably.
We're wrestling with the guy, right? And there's all these bullets fall out that must
Jesus.
thing. There's like a dozen bullets laying all over the ice. They're out there picking bullets up off the ice.
From him or from the cops?
From the cops.
So, okay. So, man, were you hitting him hard? Like, it looked like you could have really hurt him.
I hit him like 17, 18 times or something.
Yeah.
I stopped because my hand was so sore. Because I
ate him.
saw the hair. His head's hard on the boards, the top. So there was no give. It was just go. So I stopped because my hand was so sore I had to.
You ever see him ever afterwards? Ever?
No, I seen a thing on French social media or something one time, and they had it on there, and it was a news group went to his house and they did an interview with him, and that's what when he said that he was protesting the violence in sports.
What a nerd. He's probably a vegan.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple more minutes, man. You've been great.
Yeah, you've been awesome.
Hey,
Rayzor.
what's the story with your road trip to Chicago in 1997?
What's that?
I don't
What
know.
is this?
I mean,
Who told you that?
Listen, I was told this.
Sorry about that,
You got to
Rayzor.
ask him
Who,
about
Mimi?
Yeah, ask him about our favorite trips to Chicago in 1997.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. These guys, I'll tell you what, Jay McKee and Mick,
God.
they've turned a story into something that it was like, oh, let's put it all on him. Yeah, he could take it. We went to this strip joint with Chelios and what's his name that used to play basketball? The guy that
Jordan.
No,
Dennis Rodman.
Rodman.
And it's like, oh my God. Okay, so here we are. But this strip joint, it wasn't a normal strip. It was guys. So it's like, we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, we love coming to this place. We don't get bothered. We're like, what?
There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't think that's where the story was going.
Yeah.
You went to a gay bar. There, no one bothers us.
Nobody bothers them. It's like,
Oh, that's great.
No, there's more. I'm not getting into it though.
No.
That means you're not handsome, because usually they would bother you.
No, they didn't. It was really quiet. It was like a friggin' Thanksgiving weekend or something like that.
That's so funny. I should have asked you about the paintball with the Buffalo Bills players.
Oh,
instead.
paintball! Yeah, imagine playing paintball with 400-pound guys running through the woods. It's like a friggin' moose, and they think they're hiding and they're sneaking, and they just get blasted up. We did that with Ken Hall and Glenn Parker and that down at his place, and it was like, here's all these guys. They'd spend beaucoup money on all this stuff, and so they could hide and camo and all that out, and us little tiny guys would be just crawling in a hole somewhere out in the woods and just peppering them as they're coming by. They could never beat us.
I love that. Hey, what's your best knockout? Like who? Like you've had so many, man. And I love Dennis Bonvie. I love him. I believe that was preseason. But when you hit him, he's such a good. And you went like this. Well, blap. You did the old "fuck it's over" kind of thing. Like, what was your most infamous knockout you think you've ever had?
I got Jim Kite one time.
Oh, God.
I saw that.
Oh, God.
And yeah, and it was like it was mutual, and I caught him with one, and he buckled, and then they had to go out and kind of help him pick him up and help him off, and he was going by the bench, and for me that was probably the biggest one.
Jimmy
Kite,
but
when you knocked him out, you yelled at him. You stood like is he?
Yes.
He's said something to him.
You didn't hear it.
He didn't hear it, I guess.
There was something said by a trainer on our bench.
No,
I don't know if I should repeat it, what it was said. It was a miracle. It's a miracle. I'm gonna.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. I heard nothing but good things about him.
Like Royal Royal, and I'm like, oh man.
Hey, what was the bigger story for you? Was it when Ryan Miller got rammed by Lucic and no one really did anything, or was it this particular one? Which one upset you more?
Probably Ryan Miller. And because we did have guys on that team that could do it, I've taken care of it instantly, and guys on the ice that could have done it at that time, and it really never happened. It's your goaltender. It's like that'd be like Dom getting run over, at the time, if you just let that go. I thought that time was probably worse because nobody had the excuse then. They didn't see it because everybody saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it didn't happen there, and the guys that were on the ice could have taken care of it at the time.
Yeah, we had both those guys on, so it's interesting to get Lucic's side of the story and Ryan Miller's side of the story.
Well, when you did the Sports Center commercials, man, when you're roughing guys up, like I love that. Like that's like peak. Like, did they come to you? Do you do anything else with them? Did they pay you good money for that? Like, how does that work?
No, you don't get paid to do it. I went in like at 9:00 at night, got there and filmed it all night and left the next morning and came back here. So it was like nobody even in the place other than you and the camera people and whoever was doing the directing and that stuff. So it was a professional stunt guy, and they kept saying, "Oh, you got to make it look more." And the guy's like, "Just hit me, it's okay." I'm like, "Dude, like at that time he was more than twice my age." I'm like, "I'm not gonna hit you." He goes, "Just do it." I caught him probably 3 or 4 times, and the guy was just bounced right back. He was good with it, and so you had to make it look as real as possible. So yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun to do. It was just a long ass night. Go in there and do it, and come back. But no, you didn't get paid for it.
Do you make more money now than you did when you played?
Hell yeah. My first year pro, I made 25 grand and I got a 13,000 signing bonus before taxes.
Jesus.
That was before taxes. So yeah, I do better now than I did my first 6 years of playing in the NHL.
Oh, I bet. And you do a great job,
You do a
man.
damn good
Who got
job.
you into broadcasting? And
Rocky.
did you ever think about getting involved on the hockey side? Like anyone ever come to you?
Yeah.
Management, scouting, coaching, nothing like that?
No, I started right off that next year because I wasn't going to play. And Larry Quinn, a guy that ran the team at the time, asked me if I wanted to do it with Danny Gare. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try it and see. I did it for a few years. And then once you got into it, it was like, and then Harry was here. And Harry Neal was going to retire. And RJ came to me and he says, hey, I'll keep working if you work with me. And I'm like, how many more years are you going to work? And he goes, a couple. And that was like 10 years after. And so you just kind of got sucked in and you're stuck here now. But I had no aspirations of doing it. No, never did. And I'm glad I did. But, you know, not going into it, I never thought I was going to do that. But it's been a lot of fun.
Do you hang out with the guys? Like, do they look up to you? The guys come up and talk to you when you're on the plane with them, when you're out to dinner? Like, do you hang with them, or you just kind of separate yourself from the guys?
Totally separate myself. You know, you're at the rink, they'll talk, guys will come up, you know, talk a little bit, or you just shoot the shit with them. But no, keep separation from them when you're on the road, other than, you know, you're on the plane with them, you know, talking here and there, but just small talk. That's not for to go dinner, all that kind of stuff. No, never.
Do they know what you've done? Like, do they all know?
Do they
you?
Google you?
Yeah, like seriously.
Because Chaser shows them the
I don't-
videos.
yeah.
I think they have now, you know, because it's been a lot more to it. But, you know, no, most of these guys know exactly because the training staff and that, they're just always talking about it, that kind of thing. And they keep that stuff alive.
Yep.
But these guys all know. They know. They just know.
Hey, they better know.
They look at you
I
and they
got to
know.
ask you before we let you go, because we
You've
talked
been
about
awesome.
your first shift, the slap shot against Barrasso.
Yeah.
But is there a story on your you scored on your last shift, and like, is there a story to get you to 900? Because you played 900 on the nose,
baby.
which is
Yeah.
unreal for your style of play and everything. You go to Ottawa. How'd you end up in Ottawa? You didn't play that many games there, but is there a story behind getting to 900?
No story behind 900. I got traded in 03 or something like that to Ottawa at the trade deadline because we weren't going to make the playoffs here. I knew they were going in a different direction, and then I figured they would, if they traded me, it would be a lot easier to trade me and it'd be somebody else's problem than then not re-sign me in the summer type thing. So I'm like, yeah, let's try it. Mux was with Ottawa, good relationship, went in. Kind of knew I wasn't going to play a lot when I went there because just by talking to him, you know, Jason Spezza and that was there. I roommated with him on the road, just kind of helping these guys out, the younger guys, Chris Neal at the time, and just making sure that, you know, kind of more of a mentor and all that kind of thing. So it was fine. And I only played a few games that year from the deadline in. And then the next year I started doing TV. And then at the deadline, Mux called me again to see if I wanted to come back, and I hadn't played all year. And I was actually in Nassau with my wife. We're on the beach, and phone rings because we thought it was because we just had my first daughter, and it was Mux. And he's like, "What kind of shape are you in?" And I'm like, "Great shape, man. Fucking no problem." And he goes, "I need you here tomorrow." I said, "How about the next day?" He's like, "Okay." I never told him what I was doing or anything, and so I fly home, I skate once, I drive to Ottawa, I skated with them that morning. So in 9 months, I've been on the ice twice, back-to-back days. Drive to Ottawa, he says, "Yeah," he says, "You look good, you look like you're ready to go." He sent me down to friggin' Syracuse to play with Binghamton that night.
Oh.
I ended up fighting that Sugden guy.
Oh.
But anyways, it doesn't matter. It was a great experience going back down, went back up, and Jacques Martin hated me. Like he just didn't like me for, I don't know what I ever did, said, whatever. But he's like, I go back up and he goes, "Look, you're not here because I want you here. You're here because Mux wants you here." I'm like, "Okay, buddy, no problem. I know where I stand." And so you played a few games. I think my last shift was in Toronto. I score. I come back to the bench. I'm all excited. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I got one more goal in my career. And he never played me another shift that game. Next game, never dressed me. Next game, never dressed me. And it was only like 3 games left in the season. Very last day, because they were all really intimidated by him. he calls us into the middle, and I'm like, hey, Jacques. He goes, yes, Rob Ray. Never called me by this, Rob Ray. I go, I promise if you play me tonight, I promise I will not score. And he just looks at me and he goes, shakes his head, nope, not playing. And that was the end of it. Everybody was laughing their heads off. And that was it. So I scored my first shift, last shift.
What was that goal like?
I was off the face-off. It was a backhander, I think, on Belfour.
Ooh.
Yeah, but wasn't that
It was beautiful.
But wasn't that one of your last games? So the biggest brawl in hockey history. When fucking Brash grabs you, he cut you open. I've never seen you get caught like that.
No,
like, I know you weren't even into it.
I was looking at both corners of my eyes from Brash fight.
Never seen that.
Like you're right. I never got cut.
No.
And that game turned into a nightmare. And I got thrown out. And then it was like every whistle, there'd be one more guy thrown out. We're all sitting in the dressing room. And as soon as the whistle would go, we're like laughing to see who's coming around the corner next. So they ended with about 5 guys on the bench. And Jason Spezza ended up being single game all-time penalty minute leader for Ottawa out of that game. But these guys were going nuts. Like these guys were so cool and good, but they didn't play that way. But it was like they realized they could get involved, and you weren't going to get hurt. You weren't going to get carried off the ice, and they were loving it. They were so fired up.
Yeah.
The guys coming on, just seeing who was in there. And Jacques hated every second of it. And I think he blamed me for that.
Why though? Why is he weird like that? Because we have so many
Jacques Martin.
All these people that for the Devils and all that shit, they talk about him, but like, why was he playing games like that?
I went, and I was 35 at the time, and I, think I'd seen an awful lot and experienced a lot, and it was just like having a conversation with a coach. You're comfortable doing it, and there was nights when I'd be like, or the next day I'd be like, why didn't you let me go? Like, why didn't you let me? Because we played the Islanders once before we were going to play them in the playoffs. And they came into Ottawa and just kicked the shit out of us. Like the guys were like, they're crawling off the ice. I'm like, Jacques, why wouldn't you play me? Just go and he goes, you know what? My theory is if you avoid it, it'll go away. Okay. It wasn't going away. The only thing that was going away was your guys to the dressing room to get fixed because they were getting killed. Avoid it, it'll go away. And the only other time I had a real serious conversation was going into Game 7, that 03 year we were playing New Jersey. I'm like, just let these guys play. Just let them play. And he goes, no structure. I go, you got Marion Hossa. You got Havlack.
Let's go.
You got
Alfredson.
Fuck.
I'm like, I've never seen so many guys that have so much talent that you just let them go. I go, take the cuffs off him, man. Just let him go tonight. Just let him go in there and say, fucking boys, go play. Go play. Don't worry about anything. Just go play a hockey Game 7. He goes, no. We have to play with structure. Structure wins. And we end up losing. So I'm like, it's kind of disappointing.
No shit.
I could ask you about every fight because you went crazy against Peluso, like chasing him around the ice. And when you grabbed Claude Lemieux, though, and he was like a WWF wrestler, like no.
Help.
And you just
hitting him on the top of the head,
like Donkey Kong style.
Knuckle that my knuckle would come out through, so every time I touched something with that, it would just burn like crazy. So I just started pounding him on the top of the head, and then Stevens takes a poke at me. Like he was a king poke from behind and side, and when you're never coming. But yeah, Claude, just people still here talk about that one.
What do you do? Okay, like are you a fisherman? Are you golfing?
He's a hunter.
Like, are you hunting all the time? Like, what are you doing this summer, dude? What are you doing?
Fish and hunt. Cut grass.
Fucking chill.
Yep. Smoke cigars. Cut grass. Fish.
Drink beer?
No, I haven't drank in almost 17 years.
Good for you, dude.
No,
You're
my wife
right.
was pregnant with my son. I said, you know what? I quit drinking until you have the baby. And then I never started again.
Good for you.
Wow.
Man.
Yep.
That's hard.
Yeah. So I chew too much and I smoke. The greatest present I got from the trainers was they gave me a big ass humidor with the logo on it for my night and the Sabre logo. It was beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
It's awesome.
Are your kids pretty good players?
I have a son who's just turned 16. He's not bad. He plays for the Junior Sabres here in town. And my daughter's 21. She goes to Geneseo, which is between here and Roch.
Geneseo
But
State.
I put her in hockey because I never trusted her with a weapon in her hand. She kind of takes after the old man a little bit.
Do they know how to shoot guns?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yeah, no, my wife's a good shooter. So
Damn
if I'm
right.
and anybody comes in, it's like right under the mattress.
There it is. You're damn right, baby.
Now they know.
It's good night. Bye
Come
bye.
on in. Come on in. I'll put you down, baby.
Just clean up the mess after for.
Rayzor, you're the best,
Hey,
dude.
congrats
We
on
wanted
your,
you on so bad,
on
man.
your honor,
we
man.
love you, dude.
Yeah.
Everybody loves you, man.
Yeah.
Well, here, go tell my wife, kids.
They all love him.
Ever get outside and shovel.
Go have a cigar. Go do your thing, dude. Thanks for coming on. Seriously.
Take care, eh?
See you, buddy. Big appreciate it.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. Behlmann. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Rob Ray.
He was great, man. He was just chilling out, doing
He's
his
in
thing.
the stick room.
I go, how many sticks you got? Oh, fuck, he's like Wayne Gretzky, Lemieux. Like, you know, when you're Rob Ray, you get what you want, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like if you want Greta to send you something, like
He'll
he's gonna
send it
do
to
it.
you.
Like you want this, you're gonna get it. This, that, and the other. He's the king of that city. He's one of the toughest guys ever to
Do you
play.
think he
ever.
held back what he wanted to say?
Of course he did.
And he's in. And listen, I
course he
don't
did.
ever want to put anyone in a bad spot. And I
course he
get it, man. He works for a team. He's got to be very protective of his own personal interests, and I get that. But you know his background, his history, the passion he played with, man.
course.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, and we supported him when that
Oh,
weird shit went
dude,
down. We're like,
100%.
Razor just got inducted, and you guys are
Oh,
playing
yeah.
like pussies
And right in front of him.
right in front of him. And Barney and Mayday,
Barney.
he told,
Oh, my God. What did he say to Razor's
Barney is
daughter's boyfriend?
Barney is a funniest son of a bitch. He done. So
The boyfriend.
we can't post this because I don't want to do that to Barney. Although he might not even care.
He doesn't give a shit.
So he doesn't care about a goddamn anything, and I love that. So Matthew Barnaby, I guess other players went up to Razor's daughter's boyfriend and they're like, "You fucking mess with her, I'll kill
No,
you."
Barney did.
He goes up to his daughter's boyfriend and goes, "Hey, you mess around, Rob Ray will beat you up. Brad May will fucking beat you up.
No, he'll kill you.
He'll kill you."
Give a shout out to our boy who did the.
Who is he?
Will, I believe.
See, you don't even know his name. You gotta let me know.
Because he's fucking awesome. I actually with Will, I want to go in the recording studio with him and do some shit.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because I'd like to maybe do a rap song. I'd like to do a little country.
Why don't you be a rapper and a country singer?
What did
Like
you
Beyonce.
What did you not get Kate for Valentine's Day?
Pretty much everything. I got her. I didn't get her. I mean,
Pretty much
well,
everything.
it's
Pretty much everything.
You know, it's
I mean,
we have Christmas and this her birthday and then Valentine's Day. Like,
I know,
we went
son.
to Annie Gunn's.
get a gift card.
Yeah, for $250, and I spent like $400.
Oh my
Just
God.
me and her.
Would you get a bottle of wine?
Sat at the bar, had dirty martinis, fat steak. I had every appetizer,
good there,
seafood
huh?
fucking platter.
Oh, you got the platter.
Oh yeah, I go, just give me. I ordered the whole menu, and then I took a bunch home. Then I met up with my buddy Mike Scroy,
Mhm.
who's a heavyweight back in the American League, who coaches MMA guys and
What's
actually
he doing in town?
UFC. His kid's playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I met up with him that night too. So me and Kate had a nice little man.
Where
and
does his kid play?
he plays from Orlando, Florida.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So Mike Scroy, a little shout out, baby.
Big
What's up?
shout
He's
out.
my
What's up,
teammate.
Mike? Welcome to St. Louis.
Shit kicker, man. He'll kick you right in the head, knock you out.
Oh my God.
yeah,
dude.
he's MMA hardcore.
Are we gonna see more fights? USA Canada.
No, nope. There will be no more fights. And I'm just saying,
What if Bennington came down to fight Hellebuck?
it's not going to happen. None of that's going to happen anymore.
No.
It's actually going to be
In the previous game, he should have come down. He should have just gotten involved.
Oh yeah, maybe
Bennington.
Andy.
He
You're
should have
right.
just come
yeah,
out.
I didn't think of that. You're right. That'd been kind of cool. Like, you want to do it too? Let's fucking go. Then it's fucking chaos at that point. Like, you got to win the game. Like, it's
Well,
you-
then the USA was down 1-0. You know, so
you got to win the game. But I would say we've peaked. Okay, this is on a Monday. Okay, we haven't watched the games tonight on a Monday where Canada's playing Finland, US is playing Sweden. I'm just
Canada and Finland is starting right now.
So I'm just saying to all you guys that it's not going to be like you thought it was going to be. And I think that the U.S. is going from such a high mountain to not caring in a game against Sweden to having to go back up and play this championship game. Now, you could look back in 1980 and see the U.S. team in Lake Placid beat Russia. And a lot of people think that was the championship game. It wasn't. They had to beat Finland. No one even talks about the Finnish game where they won. So I worry about that part. I really do.
But hey, listen, man. Yeah, hockey is just
That makes sense.
crushing the NBA right now. Not the WNBA, but the NBA. Don't confuse the two.
They're not. You know what happened with the NBA? The NHL was right there in about 2008, 2009. They started to really pick up. And know what happened? Social media happened. And the NBA pumped up their social media, and all the guys are chirping each other and stuff like that, and it blew the fuck up. And it beat the NHL out of the water because guys are just like content. They don't want to speak their mind and stuff, which I get. I don't go on Twitter.
Brett William. Brett William McConaughey.
What about him?
That's who did our song.
Oh yeah. What?
Dude, Brett McConaughey.
Oh, okay. Well, who's William?
It's his middle name.
Oh, what's up, baby? How you doing, man?
See?
Appreciate that. Send me his. I'm gonna follow him.
Yeah.
Send me
Brett
his stuff.
William McConaughey. Dude, Brett, we're gonna get in the studio, dude. I want to do some country songs. I want to do some. Let's just get out. Let's meet up in the studio. Just 24 hours. Let's knock some shit out, dude. He's good at writing shit and stuff like that. So write me something, and I'd love to get in the studio and like collab on some shit.
That's where the money's at.
Let's drop
for
that
you.
tune, man.
And he wants to be a little bit of everything. He wants to be a rapper.
They not like
Hockey
us.
player.
They not like us.
Good God.
How about John Stockton? You see his?
What do you say?
Because they said his name in the "They Not Like Us" song. He drops the name John Stockton.
And Kendrick Lamar song?
Kendrick Lamar.
Terrible.
I'm gonna pass like I'm John Stockton.
Stupid bell bottoms, yeah. He's like your size. He's acting hard, and I'm like,
Cam didn't even understand the
I'll
messaging.
bag his ass up.
There was a lot of messaging, symbolic messaging.
Don't care.
The Bloods and the Crips.
No one's listening to that.
Who are the four
No one
nations
cared.
bringing out during the?
That's a good. No, that chick from.
No, they always bring out the same
Bieber.
bare naked ladies. or
Yeah,
something.
bare naked. yeah.
Bare naked ladies.
Or
We work once a year.
Who's
we
that
just do
girl?
the
That
All-Star game.
Tate McRae.
Tate McRae.
Yeah, or Bieber.
She's Canadian.
Yeah, they'll do that.
Bieber's not.
They'll have Tate McRae.
Bieber's not available right now.
He don't look good.
Not looking great right now.
Well, he's been.
But I'm surprised he wasn't at the games there.
He's not doing good. I don't think. He looks
But his
terrible.
best friend Austin Matthews is American, so
Yeah, but that's how the NHL works. So they're going to have the Canadian person come out and do this in Boston, of course.
exactly. Welcome to ESPN.
Here's Canadian Tate
Canada
McRae.
and USA in the championship game. Joining me live is PK Subban and Mark Messier.
Good God.
Oh my
That's
God.
funny, man. It's so true.
Jesus.
Andy, you were 100% right.
Where's the Americans? Even like find like a Dougie Wade.
Oh, we don't need them. We don't need them.
Somebody.
Don't worry about them.
Darren Hatcher, is he around?
Yeah, he's probably on his boat doing this thing. He's doing his thing, man. We love him too. But I just hope the U.S. gets out of this little hole that they're in.
What hole?
Because you're up. I'm telling you.
Okay, just
Well, as an athlete,
They
you
got
understand
enough
how that,
leadership.
you just understand how this works, man.
I
Like
understand. No,
you're
you
so on
blow
top.
your load,
You
man.
blow your fucking load, dude. What do you think I'm talking about?
It's
I'm
tou-
worried.
It's tough to.
I'm worried.
Could
about
you
it.
imagine, like, to put it like in another perspective, like if you through the playoffs, or like a NCAA basketball tournament, like you win your Elite Eight game, and now you automatically are playing in the championship game, but you have to play the Final Four game against it.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
don't
mean?
Know how that works.
Like, yeah, I'm just saying, like you just
it's just a goofy-
automatically know you're in. They should have it set up where it's like you have a semifinal. You have to win your semifinal to get to the
how about-
championship.
Yeah, you just need more teams.
No, less teams, 2 nations,
Okay.
best of 3.
It's either more or less.
I'm going less, and I'm
It's either
saying
more or less.
Would you say best of 5 or best of 3? 5 may be too much.
I mean, I just worry about the U.S., man. Like it's just you're up here and now you got to
Now you got to find it.
find your fucking.
The only
groove
way
again.
that it could be, by Matthew not playing,
You're not going to fight.
he's going to
again.
be able to.
You're not fighting again.
By not playing today, he'll be able to rediscover it.
Yeah.
McAvoy's going to be able to get that emotion back by not playing today. You know what I mean? So, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link. Bars, energy drinks, apparel, protein, everything. Let us know. They got everything but poutine on there.
Vagina?
No, it's like a delicacy in Canada.
Yeah,
Actually,
I know.
I actually had
I know.
it
I got turned off
a couple
by it.
times.
It's hideous. Nasty.
IRC Illinois Recovery Center, baby.
Swansea, Illinois. Going there tomorrow.
Cam should have gone there last week, but the weather just.
It's fine.
It might be raining.
Chrissy told me.
Okay, fine. I don't know. It just could be raining a little bit.
No, it's going to be nasty tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Wednesday.
Well, you're going to have to find a way to go.
I'll be here like I always am.
Maddie will have to be here too.
And he's like, I'm a mile away. I don't know what to do. I'll come pick you up.
What about
Like,
Maddie?
I got to pick up fucking
Might
Maddie.
have to pick up Maddie.
Maddie's a different story.
Maddie's a different
I
story.
worry about you. I can't worry about Maddie, but I might have to pick your fucking ass up too, homeboy.
We'll get you an Uber or
I'm
something.
not worried about you, Maddie. I'm chirping fucking Andy.
We need Maddie.
Maddie's not going. I'm not going. You know.
Yeah. Illinois Recovery Center. Enjoy yourself out there, man. Tell everyone to say hello.
It's not more you enjoy. It's like
Okay, well,
it's actually fucking depressing.
okay, you know what I'm saying,
It's not
dude.
fucking fun.
No,
Like,
but
I do feel good afterwards because
Hey,
I'm good at talking to
let
these
me
guys,
rephrase
you
this.
know.
Go do your thing out
I
there,
will.
dude,
That's
and
what
make
it
other
is.
people feel good.
Thank
You know what I mean?
Because it's not easy.
And tell everyone out there I say hello.
Okay. Like,
Why wouldn't you?
Andy says hi. Who?
Why
The guy on... No? Okay.
why wouldn't you tell them I say hello?
Because they don't care. They care about their family and their addiction and getting out of hell. They're in hell right now. So if I say Andy, they're not going to laugh.
just
They're
tell
not going to be like, yes. They're just
Okay.
going to be like, what does that mean?
All right, Blue Note Roofing.
You know,
314-920-5713. The only number you need plugged into your phone, man.
hail's coming.
It is. Yes, it is. That's one thing I'll agree with you on for now.
Andy, I'm pretty right on this weather stuff, man.
You've made more predictions that have not been right.
Like what?
Earthquakes and shit like that.
We had 3 earthquakes the other day.
I'm the only one that's been hit by a tornado.
For being on your phone so much, you miss out on a lot of interesting stuff.
Not true.
Especially the stuff that I'm into that you know I'm going to talk about. You go right past that.
Not true.
You know, we had 3 earthquakes in a matter of like a week in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't listen to
The New Madrid line.
down in goddamn Bow Hill. The
Hat
river
launch,
flowed
baby.
backwards.
But Blue Note Roofing, getting back to David Novak, man, give him a call today, honestly. Get that free estimate. Find out if you need a new roof now, even before all this other stuff is going to come. Just plan ahead and get that on the schedule. 314-920-5713. Hatlaunch.com. Danny, Jordan, everybody, man.
Love you guys.
Every hat tells a story. Get that brand, get that logo on your hat and represent.
God dang right. God dang right.
Represent. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swing Index told you that before.
But you do get sushi and flavored water. They will give you a number of different things.
Including nice vehicles, man. Troy, Missouri. Nice vehicles.
Buick GMC on one side of the street. Other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Cam's looking at that small Jeep, 2
They got
wheels,
those
small
Gladiators
wheels,
are badass.
pink,
They
2-door,
go
soft
tires.
top, flames on the side,
They go tires.
and testicles hanging from the back of it.
Oh my God. I'm gonna put that on Lori's car.
Oh my God, dude!
I'm gonna put testicles on the back of her hitch on her.
How could you even say
and
that?
a Trump sticker.
Oh. Okay, listen.
And then you're gonna go to a family get together.
Oh my God! Hey, enjoy the enjoy the 2 nations.
We love you, Andy. How dare you say
No,
that?
I love Finland.
It's 4 nations.
I know, but
They're boring.
I love Finland and Sweden.
They're boring.
Where's Philip Forsberg been?
What? Game? These 2 teams are where it's at.
I didn't notice it was called the 4 Nations. Fake.
Where am I?
USA
I'm playing.
USA's like, we don't care. We just wanted to play Canada.
That's it. See ya. You're right.
We'll save the rest for the Olympics.
We love all you guys, man. Be
Enjoy it,
cool.
man.
Rob Ray, let's go.
Tune into this. Turn on the cam, I am the fizz. Turn on the switch, listen to Strick, yeah. No, if we swinging, there's never a miss. Don't follow a script, yeah. Topics change quick. Looking for facts, looking for tips. One's an enforcer, one's a reporter. Together we Cam and Strick, yeah. One's an enforcer, one's a reporter, yeah. You tuning in to Cam and Strick.